Anybody remember anything that happened the last time we played this game that was not a one-shot?
Cat was actually a snake.
Can I be
Everybody looks
exempt?
at Tommy.
Tommy, you have to
Because
do
I
it.
answer it every time.
No, you have to do it.
Okay.
I only remember the end where I tuned to the fucking eye. That's about it.
Yep. So Runa Ito came back. We met an emissary chick. She's dragging. This is probably further back than that game even. She's like, yeah, we need you to find Connor's other character, and we're like, cool, that's a lot of money, dude. There's a bunch of vampires. Beaver's friends with them.
It's just the one vampire.
Yeah, there was some airship shenanigans, I'm pretty sure, where Alakul went to go buy some airship shit.
Yep.
If I recall correctly.
Did do that.
I did do that. I hung out at the library, learned some Feywild stuff.
That's the War of the
etc.
Cunning.
Lou went. Yep. Lou went and did some research at the library also, as did Ito. I keep changing people's names with characters' names for some reason. Yeah. Klaus wants
Finally,
to get
Large
his,
confirming the big hint.
what is it? His dad and his brother back, if I recall correctly.
What was it?
And they were planning on going to the brothel and try to steal a key or something from a guard captain, and there was big shenanigans with Connor's second character to do that. And then he revealed, oh, I have all these scars that I'm a dragon's wife. Oh, boo-hoo me. Very sad.
Was it?
Yeah, then we sort of reconvened, and I want to know more about Klaus's arm, so I used Detect Magic, but then the cat was actually I forget what monastery monk with.
It was like
monastery monk.
serpent.
Yeah, without
something.
looking it up. Anyway, it turned into a person, was like, I'm just a cat, I was just following orders. Ah! And then Gen caught him with a natural 20, I remember that. That's pretty cool. And then I
That was
stabbed
pretty
Klaus
sick.
in the hand with a fork to see if his arm was dead, and he put on a piss poor performance. And then Gen held hands with him, and they went on a walk, and he tried to give up the other Eye of Vecna, and then instead ate it like a dumbass. And then we came back, and we talked about going to the vault. There you go. That's all I got.
On the bright side, that's more than I
Pretty on
remember.
point.
More than I remembered. Because I have not listened to this game.
Tommy, you can go now. That's your job. Your job's done.
Alright.
Yeah.
All that stuff did happen. You did all the research. You learned about a little bit about the War of the Cunning between this enchantress and the Queen of Witches and that sort of thing, and blah 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 blah. Well, you know, the Fey Enchantress being overthrown and Queen of Witches becoming the basically leader of the Spring Court. But that's besides the point. That's all side story stuff. The important thing is you have the opportunity now to reconvene. Joseph Smoke is there. He's still dead silent, as always, making no difference. But at a taste of pride and blood, you're all able to reconvene. We'll say it's the next day. You spend some time farting around. We'll get a nice clean slate on the 16th of June. Advance to morning. There we go. 10 o'clock in the morning, 16th of June. You've had time, you've enjoyed staying in a taste of pride and blood. Obviously charge-free from Siegfried. It's early in the morning and the delicious smell of roasting pork, sort of bacon, and the smell of fresh cider fills the air. You have a chance to sit down at a table and discuss your plans next. You do still have a while. Like I said, there's not an incredible rush immediately because the time it takes to do all these airship upgrades is going to be a while. But you've finally gotten your stuff out the way, for the most part. And now you are ready to enter the very heart of the vault of the Steel and Iron Mint, into the Redeemer's vault and see what the fuck he had down there. Or not. Interestingly enough, Klaus.
More side quests.
Siegfried sits down with you, and sits next to you, and he says, "Tell me, my friend, is there a halfling that is traveling with you? Not that one," as he points to Reed.
Dang.
There aren't any, are there?
There is.
I think
Fucking called out.
there
His
were.
name starts with Ling and ends with Kun.
What?
Wait, we've had Abraham Lincoln with us?
No,
Shit.
Abraham
Ah,
Lincoln's
yes, I love this new reality.
ghost zombie is not with you.
Abraham Lincoln, the
Saying
halfling.
you don't remember Lincoln, Klaus? The cool gnome poison or halfling poison.
Oh, sorry,
or
he was a
whatever
no. Was
Oh
he a
yeah.
no?
Well,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
a
a
halfling.
halfling. I forgot he was a halfling. So that's the thing is I can't remember people's races. I don't
He
see
doesn't
race.
see
Okay,
race,
I'm
yeah.
white.
He only sees color.
Bro.
Don't let Beaver talk to you about black gnomes.
Well, he was in here yesterday night asking about seeing a fence.
I've worked around him enough. I suppose we can send him someone if we know anybody around. Not sure who skipped town and who's still around, honestly.
Well, I do know a couple of people that are quite equitable sometimes with dealing with strangers and can be quite generous to us if we send clientele their way. I just thought you might like to know that he's been poking his nose around a little.
I'll have to keep an eye on him. We've had too many people just hanging around that have no business. Damn cat.
Ah, well. In any case, enjoy breakfast. I hope to see you later in the day. All right.
Always friends.
You all enjoy the breakfast, your morning meal, and make your plans. You yourself, most of you have never even been in this city for the most part. So the Iron and Steel Mint is a little bit of a mystery to you. Ito would probably have an idea. He'd probably know. Klaus would obviously know, but it would be a mystery to Alec Cool, Aruna, probably Reed for the most part.
Yeah, we're presently together.
Yes, you've all convened at a taste of pride and blood.
I think we also asked Gen for permission to actually go in there so that
We
we're
did.
not like showing up.
Or I think we confirmed with Gen that we wouldn't be like accosted if we went.
They can, having the vault key will allow you entrance into the vault. And none will cost you for using that key and going into it. That's sort of how the Iron and Steel Mint works. You've got the key, you've got access to the vault, and you've got access to whatever happens to be inside the vault. Ito, you know that the Iron and Steel Mint is a great and stark building. Very imposing and formidable, and it is not what you would call beautiful. It's boxy. It's sort of strangely squat. You know that the building extends for probably hundreds of feet down below ground into the earth. Labor that took many, many decades and a great amount of magic to do. But it's also very secure and very, very well protected by all sorts of enchantments. It's not the type of place you break into, that's to be sure. There's a little bit of decorum in entering the Iron and Steel Mint. Usually, You know that it helps to kind of look your best. While they aren't going to deny you entrance, they will silently judge you, and they'll usually be more helpful for richer clientele than poorer. Good look for Ito, for the most part. For everyone else, I mean, look at Aruna. Look at her face.
Oh, I'll
Do I
dress
have
up
the-
fancy for it.
Do
I
I
still
still
got
have
some
my
fancy
fancy
clothes for my
Feywild
tailoring
clothes?
friends.
No, we don't have fancy Feywild clothes. They probably took them.
Fancy fart wild clothes.
Yeah, I've got my my fine clothes. I'm gonna wear those before going to the vault.
I'm an ambassador, so fuck fancy clothes.
He
I'm
just
important.
he wears a sash.
Yeah, that's
because
the
I'm
only difference.
important.
I'm wearing like a fucking tie.
He said
I'm wearing the exact same shit just with a fucking tie.
he says he wears a sash that says Miss Thrycreen 733.
Hell yeah.
It'd be a lot funnier if it said Miss Stalric.
All right.
Ziggy! Don't punch her. She's a good girl.
I assume you head toward the Iron and Steel Mint. Passing through the packed streets of Weissenberg, people going about their business brushing past you. You can see as you get to the richer part of town, the part that has the counting houses, the banks, the Iron and Steel Mint, it becomes a lot thinner on the ground. Less packed and more heavily guarded, as you can see members of the City Watch stationed on every other corner. Their armor glittering in the sunlight that is beginning to beat down on them as the midday sun rises to its zenith. At the end of a couple of hours of journey, making your way through the winding streets of the city, you find yourself looking at this squat building. It's made of dark stone, and there's something that is both formidable and at the same time surprisingly nondescript about it. You're unsure if that's magic or just design. But out front you don't see any walls or anything like that to the actual building itself. But you can see sort of from stationed all around it, there's about a score of guards with their sort of armor gleaming in the light, the halberds resting within the crooks of their arms, looking a little bit bored, but at the same time on duty. They're ever vigilant as you walk by them. They nod their heads at you, their great crested helmets sort of fluttering slightly in the wind as you pass through the imposing doorway of the squat building and into a surprisingly brightly lit sort of forum area. There are many, many desks around, made of sort of gleaming dark wood, and the floor itself is made of very fine white marble, but there are many brightly colored rugs all across it, sort of dampening the sound as you walk across this forum, past desks. There's a single large central desk. It actually appears to be two desks stacked on top of each other. Standing, sort of almost leaning over this desk, is a absolutely massive giant. He has sort of strange purplish skin that has almost look like flecks of gold that run through them, almost like marbling, the sort of flecks that run through veins that go through a mountain. He looks down over you, and he's a strange sight because despite his unusual nature of being this massive stone giant, he's wearing very fine, dandy clothes. And as he looks down at you, he says, "Welcome to the Iron and Steel Mint. How can I help you today?"
Who's got the key?
Shit, I have the key, but I will give the key to Ito and pat him on the back and say this is his department.
Is it?
Yeah, you're the fancy
You
one.
can
I
see
don't know. I don't think
his
Ito likes
eyes,
wanna
in
give it to
monetary
Joseph
situations.
his eyes sort
Give
of
it to
wash
Joseph.
over you, silently judging you.
Mhm.
I'll walk up. Have I done this before?
Have you?
I'm Colin. I don't know.
I mean, I don't. It's
Is
your
this something
character.
would
Was
have
it something
done
would
before?
have he come
I mean,
to
my
the Iron and
character's
Steel
been in the
Mint?
capital. I don't know. I don't know where, like, because I'm sure that
Ito's vault is empty.
Yeah, I'm sure Ito's fortune, such that it is, exists here somewhere. So I guess, but in that
It's just
case,
it's just a single piece of paper that says IOU.
Yeah, basically. It gives you directions to the other vault that actually contains his riches that he can't access. So I'll walk up and I'll present my key, and I'll let him know that we're here to see our vault.
His massive stony
vault.
hand reaches down and he like plucks the key from your hand between his forefinger and his thumb, and he sort of looks at it. He says, "You can see his eyes narrow immediately, and he says, 'This is a high security vault.'"
Does that mean we have to wait? We can wait.
"That is not necessary. I will escort you down personally." And he takes a step back. He turns and leans over to someone, what appears to be like a gnome accountant near him. He says, "Keep an eye on the front desk. I might be gone for a moment."
I'm sorry, just to make sure I'm understanding that. The giant leans over and talks to a gnome.
Yes, a gnome accountant.
Is he doing the fucking...
He's like bent over double.
He
Uh,
takes
Such a
me
weird
like
dude.
Colin Kaepernick and has to fucking still look down.
Is he fucking...
he he says, "If you would come with me," as he turns and walks past the desks into a small circular room, located basically behind this sort of foyer entrance area. He has to stoop low as the ceiling is barely high enough for him to accommodate him, even like stooped over pretty heavily. As you all file in and find yourself in a surprisingly cramped circular room. He takes a moment to look at the key, and then clutching in his hand, he closes his eyes, and the ground seems to shake. And all of a sudden, you feel yourself descending down, as this ceiling begins to rise above you, and giving him the chance to sort of straighten out a little bit more comfortably. Although the walls are you're still uncomfortably cramped as you fly down this, basically an elevator. And you find yourself slowly tumbling for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You can see there are large entrances that fly past. Well, don't fly past, you're not moving that fast. But you can see long hallways filled with iron doors, steel doors. And then whenever you get to the lower part, you see these doors are made of mithril and all sorts of strange and exotic metals. And yet you continue past them all the way to what feels like the center of the earth. The elevator itself finally comes to a halt. On this level, you can see there are not rows and rows and rows of doors of safe vaults like you saw previously when you were passing down. There's only a couple. The doors are made of, no doubt, looks like mithril, and many of them have all sorts of strange adornments, arcane sigils and spells on them. He walks you over to a vault, he says, and sort of eyes you and says, These vaults are of personal use to members of the royal family. They say only members of the royal family can enter them. But you do have the key. And you can see he's sort of a little bit hesitant for a moment. but he slides the key into the lock of one of these massive vault doors, and he pushes it open. He says, "These vaults are the oldest ones here, and from what I've heard, home to all sorts of strange and wondrous things. I suggest you be careful and you know what you're doing." He still doesn't seem to completely trust you, it seems like. He can tell you're not a member of the royal family. None of you are a Deva, for one thing. Would have been nice to have Joseph Smoke
Shit,
a
He
Deva.
left Joseph
Yeah,
Smoke
man. If
behind.
only we had our, you know.
Well, it's because we asked him to come in the bar and he just went.
Eh.
It's the one thing he's useful for, existing.
Would have been nice to have a Deva here to back you up, and you know, because even the most distant Deva is technically related to the royal family, although distantly. But he opens the door and he hands the key to you, and takes a step back as you're able to enter the iron vaults.
Oh boy.
Pew pew!
Oh shit. Yep, that's made of iron.
There we go.
Cool. So does the door can we shut the door manually, or does he shut it behind us?
The door
Is it like a
shuts
spooky
slowly,
atmospheric-
shoots
is it-
the door slowly shuts behind you, and you can see you are in a very, very long hallway that has columns with torches sticking out of them. The torches immediately light, and you can see they're lit by some sort of ever-burning fire. About halfway down, there are two massive dragon's heads, skulls essentially, sitting on the floor, facing each other, and they're, despite the fact that they're skulls, you almost get the feeling that you are being watched, as if there are invisible hollow eyes within them, keeping an eye on you. All along the walls, you can see there are different, there are grates that lead to different rooms, and at the far end is a large door, that looks like it is made of, probably mithril as well, basically the same thing as everything, all the doors, the iron bars, or the bars, the portcullises in front of the, these sub-vault areas are all made of basically mithril. Only the best.
Oh, my best.
Simply the best!
Okay. Well, while Reed runs in there and dies, I'm gonna cast
Yep.
Mage Armor with my Pact slot,
Just
so
to
I have higher
confirm,
AC.
can anybody else like move?
Do you have your
Yeah.
character selected?
I can't move the camera. It's like
Yep, I can
real
move
laggy.
everything.
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
can move it to
bounce out and come back.
Okay. Can I also just sit here and ritual cast Detect Magic while everyone's running around?
Sure.
And,
Okay.
I can tell you, detect magic a fucking ton. Everywhere.
I figured, but
Everywhere. All types of magic.
Balls.
All types
Okay.
of
Yeah,
magic.
I'm just gonna,
The-
I'd like to sweep the room for traps or like any kind of magic runes or anything like that.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, go ahead and move yourself.
Cool. I'll take the left and also look for stuff as I'm going.
Cool.
so this entire area we're in is his vault.
It's the vault of basically the royal family. Or
Oh,
a
Alright,
vault
without
for the royal family. The royal family has multiple vaults.
All right. Without actually going in here, what all's in this?
All right. Within through this these sort of iron bars of this door, you can see there are what appears to be a few racks that have various different sort of old-looking weapons and old pieces of armor. Most of them covered with dust and some of them quite rusty. There's a basically a stony head at the far end of the wall that sort of looks over all of this stuff.
Interesting.
I can't move the camera.
Are you using right click?
How are you trying to move it?
I'm trying to right click. Okay, it is. It's just going extremely slow.
Well, we don't really have an idea of what we're looking for so much. So maybe we should actually go into every single nook and cranny.
Agreed. What do I see in this room?
This one, a
Bunch of
strange,
animals.
a strange sort of collection of statues. Many of them made of they are made of wood and stone with gold adornments. You can see that they their eyes seem to glitter and watch you. They look ancient and seem to depict all sorts of sort of unknown creatures, unknown beasts.
No bueno.
Oh bueno.
Okay, before I step into this little side crevice, can I look for traps and stuff? Or like
You can.
looking?
Yeah, I'll help with that.
Perception or investigation?
You can make a perception check.
Oh baby. And Klaus is helping me? What a guy. Oh. Wow. Oh, are you doing an individual one? Guess you're doing an individual.
Oh, rip.
That's okay. I rolled real bad. 11. It's moderate.
There.
I will use the help action.
Sure. You can have advantage, Tommy.
Whoa, dude. Thanks, Alec. You're a cool guy. It didn't do any good. It's the same roll.
Absolutely worthless. Klaus, you can see both the lock on these doors, or the large lock on it, has a spring within it, likely capable of triggering some sort of mechanical trap, as well as what looks like arcane runes that have been scribed on it, both magically and physically trapped. Perhaps understandably, lacking the key to open it.
Alright, Klaus.
Yeah.
Do we really want to sit here and go through the trouble of de-runing and breaking every lock? Or picking every lock?
I
Not
vote
every
no.
lock, but
Sorry, I
well,
couldn't
we can
hear
come
you.
back to this one later.
I couldn't hear what you said, Nick.
I said I vote no. I feel like we should. I feel like anything that's gonna be of importance is gonna jump right out at us.
Okay.
I'm not really here to loot and pillage from the royal family.
No, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hang on the left.
Well,
I
as
am
soon as you get to right between those skulls, you can stop reading.
I thought something might happen here. I was
Uh,
also thinking about praying between them, but
slowly, the eyes of the dragons that you felt boring into you, but only saw narrow hollows, light up, with fire that seems to fill the room around you, and then sort of flare back to life. The smoke begins pouring from the nostrils, and you hear a voice that hisses from one of them that says, "You are no member of the family. We can smell it."
Well, I'm glad the thing that made this easier is not fucking here. Thanks, Max.
I am no member of the family, but I am here on their behalf.
Fucking Lou speaks stone dragon sculpture thing, guys. It's okay. Brace for crits.
You bear not an official seal.
But we bear the key to come here.
We also have the permission of Gehinthramas, ally of the family.
They snort and say, "That name is exiled."
is it now?
Oh, he's back, unfortunately.
I mean, they live underground, like hundreds of feet underground, so they wouldn't know anything about that.
Clearly,
then
they're
we have,
not
like,
on the up and up.
CNN.
That's true. Do I still have... Oh, this probably has no bearing whatsoever. Do we still have that writ that Adelindra gave us?
Probably.
Yes.
I'll fucking try showing that to them, see if it has any symbol or any bearing on.
Unfortunately, it does not.
Yeah, okay.
As they sort of snort and say, "Only members of the royal family may advance past this point."
I use my earpiece. Joseph Smoke, where the fuck are you?
What if we were invited?
They say, "Then you would be escorted, wouldn't you?"
It was kind of a posthumous invitation.
A dying request, if you will.
Yeah.
Then they have no power over this vault anymore. They have no claim over it anymore.
Alright, new plan, guys. We go back, we seduce the Emperor, we get her down here.
Bring Joseph Smoke, stupid ass, up in this.
Great dragons, I do implore you. We are not common thieves or brigands. We've just come to learn.
We're not
what
common
it
thieves.
is
We're
we
we're
need.
just important.
We're
thieves.
exceptional
advanced
thieves.
Thieves.
To stop
We're professional.
the Everfrost.
There's just silence. Doesn't mean anything to them.
That's entirely fair.
We have been tasked
Well-
with a duty, which we will carry out.
Do they have any, like, magical markings or anything, like, on them, Colin? Without me getting to the danger zone
You
close?
can roll an Arcana check.
Are they
Oh, yeah.
physically talking, or is this telepathic?
It's telepathic, essentially.
Okay.
There's
How-
Do
23.
we have any physical remnants of the Redeemer?
The chain... No, not the chains. Those are from the...
Yeah, those
Didn't
are
he have a
all-
necklace?
from
I thought we
June.
kept his necklace.
We do.
I do have his necklace.
I might be
That's
forgetting.
what the eye was in.
No, that's right.
So the eye is no longer in the necklace in my
There
hand,
are
so I guess I have
many
that.
magical
how's your-
markings on it.
Lou, how's your deck save?
What did you say,
Can
Colin?
I shove Lou forward?
I mean,
You
you
try.
can try, but there are many magical markings all over both of them.
I wanna.
There are too many to dismantle,
Just,
probably, in
just
quick
yeah,
fashion.
just faintly inscribed across the skull.
I wanna shove Lou forward.
That doesn't seem wise, does it?
No, I
No.
suppose not.
Connor trying to get rid of Reed so I can bring back Hayhorn.
It's true.
Okay. Well, I don't remember who has this one, but the
Colin, I
next...
gotta say, it's a special kind of cruelty to make a dungeon that requires Joseph Smoke.
Well, it doesn't require you. It just makes this first obstacle easy to get past.
I have the necklace that supposedly had the heart, right? Still, also,
Supposedly, yeah.
supposedly. I'll try showing that to them because that's old,
It is old.
or see if it infuriates them.
What do you say to him?
We were gifted this as a token from the royal family.
That is a lie. You make a roll deception.
What do
I
you
like
mean?
how Colin had to think about that.
What do you mean? It's an 11 for deception.
It's a half-truth.
Man, it's not like there's anybody in the party who gets plus 12 to deception checks or anything.
Hey, it's not like you weren't doing anything.
Your heart betrays you, Moon Elf.
Hey, It was worth a try.
We
Okay.
sense the lie on your tongue.
I show them the mantis claw. I made this
Man,
with
we're really getting desperate
gift
here.
of,
But you
Yeah,
do.
the gift of
But
steel.
you can see they do take notice of the locket.
Ooh. Alright, if we're not allowed to pass, are we at least allowed to know what was in this locket at one point or another, or significance of it?
That locket is a symbol of the first true king. It is an artifact that belongs down here.
Okay.
Well, what if we return that to its
you?
resting place?
You can roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, Oh, apparently when I closed Foundry, my character sheet closed. 1 second. I don't know why it's so laggy. Like, it's specifically Foundry that's lagging. Persuasion or deception?
I mean that's a persuasion that you rolled.
I guess it doesn't matter. That is an 18.
They pause for a moment. You may proceed, but step lightly.
You know, you two. Is it two individuals speaking?
It's a voice in your head. You could not possibly
It's a
tell.
single voice.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the dragons are just for show.
I'm going. See ya, nerds.
I'm gonna respond as like, is there anything that we should be wary of before we proceed? My friend spoke true. We're not thieves. We're just here for information. We don't want to disturb or pilfer these halls. We're just here. Is there anything that we should know?
It has been a great amount of time since anyone proceeded down these vaults. Many years. I cannot tell you what lies beyond this step, but there was a great deal of activity before that this years past. A member of the family coming and going quite often to the lowest level of the vault.
Anybody in particular?
We do not take names. We know only that he was of the family.
Beaver. Sorry, Klaus. You have disguised self, right?
I do.
Can you make yourself look like the Redeemer?
I actually can do that. I will swap out that spell. Alright, I will cast Disguise Self
Okay.
on myself who look like Alex von Richter.
And I'll ask him, like, did they look like my friend here?
That was he that came down here.
He's the one who requested we come here.
Yes. He bore a strong smell of the royal family. Of frost and fire. Steel. And you can see they sniff. You don't smell the same. But they have let you gain passage, because you're carrying that locket.
Very nice.
Farther in, you can see more vaults. This far one,
I am in this map.
filled with strange old tomes and books, a desk and a small candelabra. So there's a small light candle that looks like it's the candles are halfway burnt and likely haven't been lit for a long time. There, across on the other side, appears to be almost like a tomb of some sort. A body sitting on what appears to be a golden bed with the bodies of animals, the skeletons of animals all around them, smatterings of treasures across it. The one you're in front of, Klaus, is the largest hoard of gold you've ever seen in your life. All sorts of
I was just
gems,
starts grabbing the fucking bars, salivating.
gold.
We just looked over at him.
I will get over the earrings, and I will kindly remind everybody that we're not here to steal anything.
Now then, you said there were books on this.
There's
Yeah,
all
what's
sorts of
what's in this book room?
There's all sorts of books and tomes and maps within this room.
Oh my god.
Are there any like currently open or on display?
The only thing you can see is the map sitting on the table, which appears to be an old drawing of basically the kingdom of Eisenfeld, long before it became Stahlreich.
Any interesting like markings on it?
Roll a investigation check.
God, I'm terrible at these, right? 'Cause these are intel.
Could I assist him by pointing out details that would be different from a current map?
Sure. So you would
Does
have
that give me advantage?
you'd have advantage.
Okay, second one. Nope, I got a 7.
Unfortunately, not good enough. It's just a map, unfortunately.
Reed is not good at cartography.
Across from, on the other side, Klaus, that vault just seems to have a strange red pool in it.
Great.
Like of water, or is it like a magic circle, or what?
You have no clue. It does look liquid, though.
Is this vault that I'm in front of unlocked?
None of the vaults are unlocked. They all have some
Reed
sort
looks
of locking
painfully at
mechanism
the
on them.
animals.
Okay. I'll get really close to Alico and be like, Alico, I want to look at the books.
Yeah, well, I would like to look at the map, so...
Alright.
Perhaps you could ask the guy.
I don't think...
You mean me?
Yeah, you mean me.
I mean, I am the guy to pick locks.
Alright,
Yeah,
someone
I don't think he'd do very. I don't think he'd take very well to us.
someone
picking
go
law.
someone go distract the big scary dragon heads while we not break into this.
Hey, the owner said we couldn't steal.
No,
We're just
we're
looking.
not stealing.
Exactly. I'm just breaking in, looking at some books, and putting them back. That's
Okay.
different.
I'll use Well, I don't know if we can do it at the same time, but I'll use my smith's. Does it look like arcane stuff that I can just like dismantle with smith's tools, like with the rune stuff I have?
Potentially.
Or is it? Okay.
Are there like little dots crawling across the map?
Yeah.
Yes. Little particles, yep.
Of dust. Effects on this thing are pretty cool. Alright, well shit. I only have... I can either mechanically try to dispel the magic or use a spell. So, depends on how much we want to waste.
Well, how important is looks?
Shit.
We could also come back.
We could come back. There might be keys in the basement or something.
It's true.
That's true. Let's not do that then. I do want to know about this red pool though.
Well, can you resist the temptation of finding all this stuff out?
I cannot resist the temptation of the red pool. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand. Can I like cast it inside of here, or does it just like
So-
not cast?
Whenever you try to cast it inside, nothing happens, and if you cast it outside, as soon as it tries to pass through the bars, it dissipates.
All right. Well, someone's gonna have to lob a rock at the pool because that's what I was trying to do.
Clearly magically warded with various magical wards. You would know the standard things, forbiddance and things like that, stuff that's probably the whole vault can't be teleported into or out of. Although it could, it's possible it could be teleported within different parts of the vault. But no entrance into the vault or out of the vault.
Gotcha. All right. Guess we'll listen to Alakul and we'll just come back. Someone get this door open.
Don't open it.
Okay. I'm not opening it.
Don't do it.
Oh, our thieves tool guy just got up. So. Ah!
Uh-oh.
Door's not locked.
Okay. That's what I do though. I open it, see what I see, and then I close it again. So it's not good.
Yeah, I don't like
I'll-
that.
Here,
I'll
I'm gonna
let someone else go first.
stealth and go through.
Probably
Yeah,
should
have at
change
it.
the music, right?
Stuff.
I will be back here.
Roll.
I would really like to know why fucking Foundry is so goddamn.
Well, I rolled a 2 plus 12, so 14.
Okay.
Go through.
As soon as you open the door, you are immediately assaulted by the stench of decay and death. As you can see, there are coffins and bodies piled up all over the place, pushed haphazardly to the side. Some of them, some bodies still hanging in their coffins, some hanging half out. You can see there is a glowing sort of rune in the center of the floor. It pulses sort of scintillating light.
Oh, great. Are you dead yet, Alakul?
No.
Okay.
It stinks in here, really bad.
Phenomenal. Go check out the rest of the room so I don't die when I come in.
So I'm gonna kind of avoid the rune, and I'm gonna see if there's like peruse around and see if I see any keys or anything like that amongst all these coffins and shit. Is that a perception?
Yes.
$26.
Jeez.
No keys, nothing like that.
Do I see anything of note other than a bunch of dead people?
You do not.
Cool.
There's no.
I'm gonna take it that.
It's unlikely that they would have kept the keys to the various stuff down here on the dead bodies in there.
Alright.
Yeah.
Just going to say
Is
if
there
you
anything?
really
Is
tell him
there
more for
another
himself.
exit or anything in here?
There is not.
Colin,
Alright.
is this the same circle that Virgil used? And I believe it was Fessenhaven?
The same circle. You can roll a.
No, it was
I mean, I do have a sketch of it. I made sure to take a sketch of it the first time I saw
it
it.
was
Yeah, I do
Ingress,
remember.
not Fessenhaven.
You can roll an Arcana check on it. It's not the same circle though.
Good try though, buddy. That's pretty
15,
good.
not bad for a +0.
It does appear to be a teleportation circle of some sort. But analyzing it, it doesn't look complete. It looks like parts of it have been smudged out and deactivated. But it could potentially be reactivated.
Oh, Baba Booey,
Interesting.
Baba Booey, I'm up to bat.
I'm gonna sketch this one too. Sketch of Redeemer Circle.
Okay. This is gonna seem like a really nonsensical, tedious question, Colin. How incomplete are we talking? Like, couple runes missing, or like lines completely destroyed?
Looks like a few runes missing from a few lines.
Okay.
The type
I
of things that
highly-
it would take a little bit of time to work on it.
Okay. So I could reasonably work through it, probably.
Probably, yes.
Well, my bigger question is less about you doing the runes and more what were the runes drawn with.
You Klaus's Arcana's probably high enough to see that it was drawn in blood.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
Is there anyone down here that still has any blood?
Yeah, bring me my paintbrush and my blood.
At this point, no. No. Everything down here
That's
is
whatever.
Well, it does look that surprisingly well, not surprisingly fresh. Significantly Gracie, I will fucking end your dog life. It does look significantly fresher than a lot of the other stuff that was in the vault. It looks like these coffins were probably placed here within the last, like, few decade, instead of hundreds of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll get to work on it, on figuring out what it is, and if someone wants to supply me with blood, that would be radical.
Do you start working on it, though?
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on it.
Roll an Arcana check.
Praise be to hopefully. Oh, baby, that's a 29.
You begin analyzing the circle itself. Now, let's see. Okay, there we go. Everyone make a perception check except Aruna.
I'm a runin'.
God damn it. It was almost a 20 and then it tipped over.
Yeah.
Alright. You can see as you begin working with the, I would say, Klaus and Alec Cool. As Aruna starts working on the runes, first one skeleton twitches, and then another twitches, and you can see them, one of them sits up, its eyes beginning to glow with unnatural life as its sort of basically bleached white bone head turns towards Aruna, and soon several of these skeletons are rising up from the, basically the coffins around them, all with their eyes focused on Aruna, who is trying to sort of activate the circle. And with that, we will go ahead and roll initiative. Let me go ahead.
Shit.
Let me add people into the initiative. Pew. And then we will pause real fast because I am going to go see this baby real
Punch-
fast because I think the
punch
baby
the
has
baby.
arrived. So I'll be right back.
I will be right.
Things are looking pretty rough as the undead within the vault rise up, slowly turning their forms to Aruna, who's tampering with the circle. And it starts with you, however, Aruna.
Great, fantastic. Okay.
You have begun embarking on the runes. It's the type of thing you can continue to work on. It doesn't look like it'll take a huge amount of time to work, but you're not going to be able to do it in just a single turn.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So that's fair. Okay. So if I work on the circle, do I need to stay stationary or do I need to like move around? Like,
You just have to be
like,
close enough to.
gameplay-wise?
You have to be next to the circle to work on it.
Okay. Okay, cool. 5, 10. Let me get further up there towards Ala Cool. Yep. I'll just be like, try to body block for me, and I'll work on the circle.
Alright. Make a Arcana check.
Probably not gonna beat that natural 20. Except with another natural 20. Shit.
Hey.
What?
That's 2 successes for a crit.
Nice.
Alright. You go down and begin frantically trying to tweak the runes, to alter the magics within it. It's not necessarily just drawing new runes, it's bending the magic and changing it. If I began. But it goes to Alec Cool next.
Alright,
Ooh, I forgot. Matt, your portent dice is a 19.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I'm going to... I'm gonna go ahead and just get up to this dude. And then I'm going to...
Snuggle check.
Why won't it let me scroll? Well, I guess I hit it with a 21.
They are one-shot minions, so you pierce into it, and it falls into bones.
And then I move down 1, and I use my bonus
Okay, whatever.
to Thri-Kreen Double Dagger.
For a 15, 15 does not hit, though.
Dang.
Shit.
Oh. That be it from me, sir.
Alright. That'll work. It goes to Reed.
Okay.
Do cool
Well,
monk stuff.
To 3, 4. And we're just going to go ahead and try to unarmed strike.
Man, you remember when I said body block for me? God damn it, Reed.
Well, that's a
I
crit.
got you, bud.
Alright. Amount of damage doesn't matter, they go down in a single hit.
That was... I moved 4 spaces, yeah. So that was 20. Go up here, punch another one.
Hell yeah.
Lou,
That's a 29.
That's
are
okay.
you trying to die?
That's 25, 30, 35, 40. Then I'm going to use my I'm going to use 1 key point to do flurry of blows.
Where's this guy go?
Nope, that's a 16. Well, maybe.
16 barely manages to hit.
Okay. Then we're going to go up here. And
I
do
mean-
the other.
It's almost like this is the whole point of the fight, is to do a bunch of little damage.
That's only 13.
Does not hit, however.
Okay.
Gee.
Alright, well, unfortunately that's all I can do because that was my bonus action and I anything. So, alright,
Alright.
end my turn there.
It would go to Ito.
Each has switched to Mozilla Firefox, and now my power usage for Firefox is very high, but it's not running like app. So I'll take it.
There's a whole bunch of relatively weak mooks that are spawning all around you, trying to get to Aruna, who is working on the teleportation circle.
Please save
Uh,
me. I'm a
I'm,
baby.
I am going to. I'll just move over here. And I will attack the dude. As an 11.
It's not a good roll, unfortunately. Not quite enough.
I will attack the dude again. Oh no!
Boy,
Alright, everybody. I'm just gonna sit down. Thank you.
the Ashen Inquisitor unfortunately does not answer your call. This time, as the ash forms from the blade, and as it lashes out, it just flows through the sort of bony rib cage of this monster and does little damage to it.
Yep, that's me, boys.
Rip.
Goes to Klaus.
Damn it. I was trying so hard not to fireball everyone.
It's okay.
Six, I can move all the way up to there. I'm going to... I can find them to see how much it costs. Because I can never fucking remember because I never use it. Meta Magic, Twin Spell, 1 point for cantrip. Okay.
Neat.
I'm going to dual cast Firebolt on him and him.
Alright. Shoot him in the face.
24 for 11 for the first one. And 11 for 10.
11 does not hit, unfortunately, but the first one slams into it, sends bones scattering all across the coffins.
Alright, I'm going to use my bonus action to hurl a Psychic Blade at this one by Reed.
Hey, that'll hit.
25 to hit.
Right, it pierces into him and takes him out as well.
Alright, that's it for me.
Right, it goes to the flesh golems with a singular purpose. 2, 3, 4, 5.
My butt.
They're gonna dash. 1, 2. Ito, take an opportunity attack. You can, or make an opportunity attack as it tries to rush towards Aruna.
20.
Right. It hits, and that's, this time it lashes out and kills it.
Snicker snack, motherfucker.
2, 3, 4, 5. They're just gonna sprint. Aruna. Alec Cool, make a opportunity attack as this one also tries to run for Aruna.
Oh, nope.
Betrayed by the Mantis Claw, it'll get up to there. And then it goes to the top of the round. That's a bad number. Right.
More zombies.
Wait, I think I've seen this scene before.
1,
Yeah.
2,
Nothing.
Four.
Nothing wrong here, buddy.
5,
I thought this might happen.
3, 5. 10 more zombies stand up, all singularly focusing on the person working on the circle. But it goes to you,
Like,
Aruna. You've got 2 successes with a crit.
black casting couch.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just gotta keep on keeping on.
Lose face.
Who
Oh, that
loves-
was worth it.
The
Whose
horror.
favorite
mean-
black?
That was so
Here
good.
we go, baby. That's pretty good still. 27.
Alright, another success as you continue working on the runes. Up to 3 successes now. Everything's
yeah.
starting to come together with the ritual circle.
Wait,
Are you
I
like-
got
Misty Step, please don't die.
a bunch of melee attackers before they go. You guys will keep them off me. It's fine.
Goes to Alec
Right,
Cool.
guys, time to leave.
Said to me. Well. How do I make the most attacks?
It's a shame we don't have like a fireball.
I mean, I do have Fireball, but you fucking idiots keep walking in range.
Their
none
dexterity
of us have-
saves are bad, so.
So we don't
Uh,
have.
I guess I just attack the bottommost one first.
Use that.
That'll hit.
Alright, and then I'll use my double daggers on the one in front of me.
Another hit as you take down the one swarming after Aruna. 2 of the
Great.
ones swarming after him.
I remove
you,
the
thank you.
advantage. That's it for me.
Alright.
Boy, I love those double daggers already.
Goes to Reed.
You're pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
$25. Gonna go ahead and punch. Punch. 18.
A hit. Enough to take him out as you cleave through its spine as it sends bones flying.
Punch number 2.
Number 2.
23.
Clearing out the area around Aruna. Buying her some
And then
breathing
we will
room.
Just do. I'll save a key point and just do the bonus action on Armed Strike. For another 18.
Just enough. Alright, that hits it as you clear out the area around Aruna. They continue as the new pack is ready and raring to charge.
Alright.
Oh boy.
Alright. If there's nothing else from Reed, it's gonna go to Ito.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna move
One
over
more.
here. I'm gonna attack this guy.
Where's my
27.
Oh yeah. The Ashen Inquisitor this time lashes out. It's turning the bones into ash as well. It sends them scattering across the coffins.
And then I'm gonna attack the other guy. 21.
The same result.
And then I will finish my movement to over here.
Right. Goes to Klaus.
Klaus.
Fireball.
Explodes them. Alright.
hell yeah.
They'll roll their DC, but they are minions, so if they save their DC, they take no damage on misses. They basically have evasion, like a rogue.
Okay.
But let's see. First DC is actually not. D20. Gonna be an 8, an 11, an 8, or a 7, 17.
Ooh, one saved.
So,
Nice.
one saves, leaving one alive. But it is going, if there's nothing else from Klaus, he will go to the flesh golems.
I will actually. I'm gonna use my bonus action. I'm gonna check a brain knife for this build. That one.
Clear him out.
Nope, that was a miss.
That's okay, it was still a whole bunch taken out. That's the important thing.
Hell
Yep.
yeah, dude.
Alright.
Gotta love that AoE.
If you're not moving, it's gonna go to the flesh golems.
Yep.
Slash skeletons. I just used a generic flesh golem token. Alright. 1, 2. This one's just gonna start charging forward. Alright. Ito, you can make an opportunity attack as this one's gonna continue rushing forward.
Yep. Sorry, I'm not used to have to look for Firefox tab. 17.
That will be enough as it tries to runs past, and this one rush forward. Then it goes to the top of the round. Well,
Super good zombie rolls, huh?
2, 5, 6. 6. Alright, there's 12 more undead spawn.
Woo!
However, it goes to you, Aruna. It looks like the teleportation circle is nearing completion. No more than a couple checks should do it.
Hell yeah. Just gonna
And
keep on
I will
keeping
add,
on.
you're not the only person that has to make these checks. Anybody can be making arcane checks on the circle.
That's fair. Well, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Because. Fuck, dude.
That is a failure. Would you like to use your 19 divination roll that you get from
Sure.
Madame Vestia?
Sure would not.
Right. It remains at, unfortunately, 3 successes.
Yep. I'm gonna get my dinner. But I will be here very soon.
It'll go to Alec Cool.
Klaus, do you think you can handle these if I try and help with the runes?
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright. I'm gonna attempt to use an Arcana to help runes.
It's rough, but good enough to get a success for a 4th success.
Thank fuck.
Close, but you are able to get down with Aruna and begin describing the circles. However, as soon as you do that, you can see it's as if the skeletons are able to see you as they are turning their heads towards you as well as Aruna.
I can handle that.
Right. There's nothing else. It's going to go to Reed. They just keep coming.
That's alright, I can continue to knock them down. So we're just gonna go ahead, we'll just punch the one below me first. No, that's only 15.
Not enough.
Wait a second.
Not quite enough.
Alright, try again. There's a 16.
Just enough. As that one gets burst into different pieces.
Go down here and we will, once again, I'm gonna save my key points, so we'll just do a bonus unarmed strike, and that's only a 13.
13, not quite enough.
Oh, dang. I should have stood here. Oh well. That's all I've got then, because... Yeah.
Ito. They're now singularly pushing in not just towards Aruna, but to Alec Cool, who is also tampering with the runes.
Ito is going to realize he has no spells that can attack multiple targets.
Don't you have some sort of turn undead?
I mean, yeah, I do, but these guys are just kind of dying.
Yes. They're meant to die in a single hit, thus the point of minions.
Do paladins get turn undead? I thought that was just clerics.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I just get divine smite, I think. Unless I'm completely blind.
Just do something.
I will go over here and I will attack one.
Ooh.
21.
Hey, that one hits.
This guy.
Phew, he bursts into various pieces of dust and bone detritus.
And then I will move over here.
Alright. Goes to...
Actually,
Okay. Goes to Klaus.
Alright. How many successes do we have? Or do we need?
You currently
One?
have 4, and it looks like it's mostly done.
Alright, I'm gonna quicken spell. It's 2 switcher points. And I'm gonna cast on a fireball.
Alright. Use those resources. Okay. I imagine you're doing all...
Ah!
Yep. I figured you were doing all on this side.
I'll fucking do it again.
I'll do it again. Fucking swear. So, basically, this one right here up to this one.
I don't know if that one got hit.
Well, you can see the... I would say make it 20, because you're at 19.9. But yeah, this one, if you did it like that, this one wouldn't get hit, because it would just extend to that square next to him. This guy would get hit. So you would hit the 5 at the, or the 5 at the bottom and the 1 up top would be fine with that one. Or you could fit the 5 up top and the 1 at the bottom. Would be fine.
I think it's all of them, doesn't it? No,
It is
it's
all the
the
orange
ones.
squares. So you can see how everything's outlined in orange. That's what it hits.
See, kind of, but I mean, it's that guy up top is 20. He's not highlighted more. But either way,
Yeah. I mean, the circle
Yeah, it's
extends to
color.
it, but the circle extending into it doesn't hit it. It's just the orange stuff. Or a 20-foot one.
Over.
either way, I'll throw it right there.
Yeah. You can, I would say, you can hit the 5 up top or the 5 on bottom. But either way, if it's the top ones, then it's going to be a 8 or a 6, 2, 18, an 18, and a 2. So this one's dead, and that one's dead. As the 2 with 18s, I believe, passed the save, yeah?
Yep.
Alright. Leaving a few still up and standing. Anything else from Klaus?
My bonus action this guy. Damn it! That was a 1.
Alas, does not manage. Anything else, Klaus?
Mm-mm.
Alright, it's gonna go to the flesh golems. One, 2, 5, and he's gonna dash. Get up. Two, 3.
I have returned. Oh dear. No. Have them come down 1 and then go away.
This one's gonna, you'll be able to, you can only attack one of them, so that one you get.
Oh, that's true. $23.
Right. That one that's running by gets
Nuke the floor.
got.
Who here has Thunderclap?
Lou, you beat me to it.
There are
You beat me to it, Lou.
3 that can
Bravo.
make attacks.
I was working on that the entire time we were doing this fight.
Good stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Good stuff. Nick,
That's
pin
me.
that.
We're gonna do.
I can't pin that. This isn't my Discord. This fucking Colin or Cody can do it.
We're gonna do 2 attack, or we're gonna do. They've got 3 attacks they can do. One's gonna be against Aruna, and these have obviously have advantage because you're clearly surrounded as fuck.
Nah.
Yep.
All right. That is a 11 plus 8, 19 versus
Ooh.
armor class.
Yeah. Let's go.
You take 5 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
You didn't have to add that on, Colin.
Yes, I did.
Shit.
Cool.
8. So 5 points.
You
and then
take
whatever's gonna happen
10
to me
points of necrotic damage.
Next. Oh, okay. Yep.
Is going to make a second attack, or the one next to you right here is going to make a second attack.
Nice.
Well, actually, this one right here is going to attack How it cool. That is going to be a 17 plus 8. 25 versus armor class.
Yeah.
Not the worst.
26 on the board.
That is a 7 points of slashing damage and a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Oh. That's the wrong dice.
You and me, buddy.
Take 9 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And the third attack that they have will go against Aruna. That is going to be a 9 plus 8, 17 versus armor class.
It just, yep, beats my AC.
You take
This
5
part of combat
points
is called Ito watches his
slashing
friends
damage.
die.
and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I'm okay. It's only a 9.
Take 6 points of necrotic damage.
That could have been worse.
It goes to the top
Could've
of the
been.
round. All right, Aruna. It's on to you. As you're now being overwhelmed, as your allies are pushing them back, as you are attempting to finish the circle.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys. I don't like that. How many more spawn? That's still a
Another
lot of
8.
guys. Boy. Well.
Well, you only need to make one more success.
Yeah. You're correct. Yeah, honestly, I don't really have anything that's not dangerous to us. So we can, like, clear things quickly. So, yeah, we're going! Dude, except for that one, I'm on fire.
Yeah. All right. You, with the zombies all around you, scraping at you, Klaus and Reed trying to keep them at bay, Alakul down on the ground next to you, trying to scribe circles into the ground. You sort of take the blood that has been from where you've been slashed and smear one final rune on, as suddenly the teleportation circle bursts with energy. As you can feel the magic sort of slowly begin coming to life. As the circle lights up, phew, everybody in the circle disappears. But that's rough for Ito, who is currently sitting outside the circle and has to get into it. As it goes to you.
Oh, you go before it.
Run!
It goes to you, Ito.
I hope you die.
I will.
Take all the opportunity attacks as you go.
I mean, can you disengage
6.
when you're not currently engaged?
As you sprint past them, making your way through them as you leap onto the circle, leaving the sounds of sort of moaning zombies behind you.
Fuck?
Oh, I see. It's just
Cana-
super slowly
canonically-
moving us.
Canonically, Ito goes.
Turn down.
Don't you guys love staring at Beaver's throat? Beaver, I'm gonna get you a camera that can.
He has a great Adam's apple.
Lou wants to see that shit bob.
I'm just in a gray void teleporting, I think.
And now we got the BJ.
I'm stuck at 50%.
Fucking Foundry.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to load in, but
I'm in there. I don't see anyone else though.
I'm gonna refresh because mine's like stuck on
I'm
Gray
trying to
Street.
refresh, but it's still not doing anything.
It's
Oh
almost
boy,
like
it's
building this in browser is a bad idea.
it's raining.
Yeah, rain's coming.
You know what else
So
is coming,
this
Colin?
is the wettest July ever recorded for Tucson.
So
The
wet.
the Tucson International Airport received more rainfall in one day, the day that we arrived in Wilmington, than
All
Connor,
right.
you look
Point
like titties.
is,
Really ugly titties.
you're transported down to the lowest level of the vault, part that the Redeemer likely called home and protected heavily, considering that was likely a necromancer's trap that you just walked into, with all the obvious, the zombies and skeletons attacking you and that sort of thing. But you managed to survive and transport yourself down to the vault. You stand in a room that has many arcane circles in it. One, the teleportation circle you went down from. Two blue ones and two yellow ones. That all faintly glow with magical powers. A massive skeleton sits, sort of like a sentinel in a hallway leading upwards, taking its form completely blocking it out. A bookcase to the east, and two doors made of iron to the south and west.
Whoop, 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 whoop. There's the sound I make when I scuttle over to the bookshelf.
The bookcase itself is basically filled with all sorts of arcane tomes, research into various forms of magic and magicka, specifically those dealing with necromancy and the raising of dead. Roll an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. Sure will. 26.
You can see there are all sorts of strange fetishes. Yeah, bondage, ball
cum.
play,
It's not really
that sort of
strange.
boot cum. There are all
Yeah, there
sorts
you
of
go.
and totems.
having consensual sex in the missionary position.
And there are two very distinct basically bookends, that look like claws, like some sort of animal's claw, essentially, with sort of black talons and bleached white bones held open, as if they're supposed to be gripping something.
I'm not enjoying this music right now.
Interesting. Very prominent bookends that look like they're supposed to be holding something.
Yes, two prominent bookends that look like they're supposed to be grasping something. Klaus, you're standing next to what appears to be a massive, incredibly large skeleton.
Spooky, scary.
Spooky, scary.
What's his name?
What does it look like? He's all big and bad.
He looks like he was likely some sort of giant, probably a storm giant.
Ooh.
Neat.
Does he have anything on him, or is it just bones?
It is pure bleached bone. But would you like to talk to him?
Ooh.
Don't do it,
Yes,
it's
I
a trap.
would. I
Throw up-
don't know what I'm gonna ask him though.
Throw up gang signs to make sure he knows it's on.
Right.
I will cast Speak with the Dead.
Using the powers of the Eyes of Vecna, granting you some power over death itself. You cast Speak with Dead, and almost immediately light comes to the eyes of the storm giant. It seems to crackle with lightning energy as it looks down at you. Its mouth slowly opens, and he says, "You aren't my master. Who are you?
Show him the thing.
Why do you invade my master's good tomb doing where he does his bidding and his good work?
Show him the thing.
Which thing? The eyes?
The thing. No, the fucking the
A necklace.
yeah.
Yeah, necklace and key presentable.
Well, I don't think. Do
Yeah.
we still have the key, or was that left with the banker dude?
I think the key is in the lock on the door.
The key is in the lock on the door.
Oh well. Shit.
I'm gonna I'll give him the pen and be like, your master's dead and his work is still to be done. You're going to help me.
Damn, that's what I was gonna do.
And you would call yourself his apprentice?
Mmm.
As if it was an offer, but nothing formally accepted.
Reed's just gonna hold his tongue.
You hardly seem like much of a necromancer to me.
I'm gonna take off the gloves and show him the eyes.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Ito braces for death.
You reveal the rotting flesh of where the eye is dug in. The giant doesn't seem to react. Interesting. Mayhap you are worthy of him. He warned me that this could happen, and one day his life might be taken, that he should fall, and his duty would have to be completed by another. He did
What
plan
duty
for such a
exactly?
thing. The duty to save this kingdom.
Stop the prophecy of ice and fire. Ice and iron. Of Magdal's fall.
The very same. Very well. If you are to be his apprentice, he said you should prove yourself. His experiments still roam free down here. You bring them into sway, I'll consider you worthy. Worthy enough, at least, to try to be his apprentice. Fail to do so, I'll collapse this whole vault around you. If you wish, however, you can return back to the top, and you can make do with the master's traps above.
Well, guys, what do you think?
We
yo.
don't speak dead, homie.
Do we hear any of that at all, Colin?
No, and I'm expanding what
okay.
Speak with the Dead does for you.
Okay.
For your Eyes of Vecna, basically.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
do you
was
want
a
us
good
to
idea.
hear anything?
Improved speak with dead.
So to us, it looks just like a skeleton.
Basically, yes. It does have the crackling lightning eyes, but you're not hearing anything.
Though, guys, I can bring undead creatures back to him, and he will
You
help us.
can? Sorry.
I can try.
Does he mean bring
Well, I
them
doubt
under
it would
heel,
do us-
as in like actually bring them back, or just kill them?
Do you want me to bring them back on these circles here?
I merely wish for you to bring them under your thrall. Whether that means dispatching them, or controlling them, that is up to you.
Okay, so I can dispatch your controls. So let's get to work.
So your choice is to face the trial then, apprentice.
Yes.
I feel like
That's
this is a
part for
trick
that.
to get Klaus locked in an internship that he can't leave.
Very well. I wish you luck. And
He
almost immediately, the oh, phew.
I actually haven't seen what's down there.
Circle
I
stops
don't-
glowing,
Ah.
leaving you locked down here in the bottom vault until whatever task you undertake is done.
Okay, before everyone runs through the fucking door, there's a lot of necromancy books over here, and I don't think anyone actually knows how to fucking control undead.
Are you telling us about the necromancy books?
I kinda can.
Well, I'm saying maybe you should, take something with you that might be useful.
Yeah.
To brush up on your advanced necromancy skills.
Is there
Absolutely not.
necromancy for dummies?
Would you consider yourself a dummy? I wouldn't go that far. You'd say you're smarter than that, buddy.
I do know some necromancy spells, technically.
Really? Which ones?
told the dead.
I know that
is
one.
The
there
Dead.
a,
I know Eldritch Blast.
Eld
I know Hex.
Eldritch Ass.
Yeah. Not
is
sure
there a
anything.
book titled
Like, I've been
Necromancy
known to
for
dabble in
Preventing
some
You-
necromancy in my day.
You can roll an Arcana check. The investigation revealed that there are bookends that are missing something that are supposed to be grasped in them, but furthermore... Oh,
15.
15.
High five them with the Vecna eyes, see what happens.
You see,
With the Vecna.
on this shelf, there are all sorts of tomes, spell scrolls, essentially. Specifically, there are the spell scrolls. There are 5 spell scrolls of Speak with Dead,
Ooh.
2 spell scrolls of Summon Undead, 2 spell scrolls of Dance Macabre. Okay. And 1 spell scroll of Raise Dead.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Alright, can you roll that, do that again as I was typing them out?
Speak with Dead, Summon Undead,
5
Dance Macabre,
5
and
of
Raise
Speak
Dead.
with Dead. I think what 3 of was 2 or 3 of Animate Dead, or no, not. There's probably should have Animate Dead. That's useful. 3 of Animate Dead, 5 of Speak with Dead, 2 of Dance Macabre, 2 of Raise Dead. Go with that.
So the only one I can use Dance Macabre and I can use Summon Undead.
What does Dance Macabre do?
Dance Macabre raises skeletons, or small medium corpses you see within range,
Hmm.
and they become undead, and I can control them.
Noit.
Kinda neat.
So would you like one of the some of these scrolls to copy down your book, Aruna?
I mean, can you use? How many of them can you use?
I will be right back. Since I cannot really contribute to this.
Because I mean, the spell itself is useful to just use off of the scroll, but can you learn off of scrolls also?
Yes, if you are a wizard, you can copy scrolls into your spellbook.
Oh, I meant like, there's no way for like Klaus to do that as a warlock, right?
No, that is a wizard thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to take the extras, then I'll just take the unique ones that I
Yeah.
can use,
Yeah,
and then
you can take one.
hell
You
yeah!
can take one of what you need.
All right. What was it? Animate Dead was the other one that I didn't look at. I don't know if I can use that. Oh, so I guess
Alright,
I'll
so
take
Animate
one
Dead, Dance Macabre, and Summon
Summon
Undead.
Undead. Yeah, I'll take each of those spell scrolls.
Alright.
And then I'll let Klaus have the rest to use at his discretion, I guess.
free real estate.
It's true.
Alright. That's the most useful stuff that you find on the shelf itself.
Okay.
Much obliged, Redeemer.
Yeah.
Now let's go find us some zombies. I do actually, you know what? I do want to take those claw bookends too. Fuck it.
When you reach for them,
Those are dope.
almost immediately the hand reaches out and grabs you.
Christ.
I want to shake its hand. Oh, pleasure to meet you, bookend.
Ka. That is a melee spell attack. Okay. Melee spell attack with plus 11.
Ooh, plus 11. Damn.
It'll be at
Spicy.
18.
That barely hits.
Alright. It casts Inflict Wounds at 5th level. It's 3d10.
Ow.
4d10. 5d10.
You know what? Let me
7d10. It'll be 7d10
let me go ahead and blow a
necrotic
spell
damage.
slot. Can I go ahead and cast shield?
Yes.
Okay, because that sounds like that's gonna hurt.
That would... Well, let's see how much damage it would have done. 47 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, I want to use that spell slot.
Probably a wise choice. As it reaches out trying to grab you, its hands glowing with necrotic, fell energy, as you try to remove them, but fail to do so.
Stupid magic zombie hands.
Well, shit. Don't try that again.
Through the southern door, you can hear the swirl of water. Sort of a faint splashing sound. As looking through the doorway, you see what appears to be a large pool of some sort that descends down into faint blackness. You can see off to one side of the room there are there's what appears to be a half-dead shark's corpse that is slowly rotting away. You can see part of it has been exposed, dissected,
That's
revealing
sufficiently metal.
the inner workings. You can see the exposed brain on it. The shark is fairly ripe at this point, as the air permeates with the stink of undeath, and yet it still remains, at least resembling the semblance of a shark, despite the incredible amount of time it's likely been down here. On the other side, you can see lines and lines of what appears to be potions, each with a faint blue. You can see there's a half dozen of these potions. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Everyone?
Everyone in the room, basically.
Yeah.
21.
I'm not on the correct tab.
6. I've had
You're
shit
rolling
rolled
hot,
today.
dude.
And I do not like
As am
the
I.
look of this room. In fact, Reed has not liked the look of any of this.
Think you better buckle the fuck up, buddy. Think it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Klaus, looking down into the pool, the dark pool, you do see every now and then something seems to glitter from the bottom, as if it's catching the light from the torches that are burning from above. But almost immediately, it's blotted out as a massive shadow passes over it.
Alright, this is kind of more... I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant into the pool of water.
Alright.
I like your idea better, Connor.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into an ethical debate about the ramifications of casting Unseen Servant. They're not
I mean,
alive. That's
I
the
don't want
end
to
of
get
the
into I don't want to
story.
get into the moral and ethical considerations of using fucking animate dead on a zombie shark that's right fucking there to have him jump in the pool.
It's
That'd
true.
be pretty cool though.
You can do that, or you can take the potions of water breathing and try to get in there yourself, although that seems like a pretty bad fucking option.
Hey Lou, how fast can you swim?
So fast that he just runs on
I
the
don't
water.
swim. I run on water.
Can you run through water? You know, with your arms and your legs moving in tandem.
But yeah, my swim speed is whatever the base is.
Not super
I
fast.
don't get any benefit.
You
don't
cast
have any
Unseen
swimming benefit.
Servant down at the bottom of the pool. You cannot. I mean, it's unseen, so you get the feeling it's there, but you can't really see it. You don't see anything within the water. But you think you've cast it.
Okay. And he's not getting ripped to pieces by piranha sharks.
Not that you can see.
Hmm.
I like that less. Can I tell him to what is it? Not submerge. The opposite of submerge. Come up.
Okay. You can.
I'm assuming I see like some water displaced.
Sure. You can order him to come up, and you see water displaced as it sort of splashes to the top of the pool.
Okay. There's a thing down there. Can you go get the thing?
Right.
We can't see. We just see it's a light of some kind, right?
Yes, something glittering
Really, a fake
far
limit.
down into the depths.
I will point at it and I will say, "Go collect that glistening object."
Alright.
Glittering.
The
Object.
water is there's a bend in the water as it dives down, and you wait for a moment, pausing as you wait with bated breath. You see the glittering object move as it goes into the hand of the unseen servant. There is an immediate splash of water as water erupts as
Oh my god!
tentacles burst forth, lashing out, and they are going to immediately. Well, there are 4 tentacles. One is going to try to grab the orb. One is going. Does not manage to grab the orb, so the uncertain servant's still coming up with it. One is going to try to grab Klaus. But you managed to dodge to the side. One is going to try to grab Aruna. Aruna manages to dodge to the side. And this one, it's got 15 feet of range, so it can get to... It'd also try to grab Aruna.
Nice.
That is going to be a 23.
Christ almighty. Nah, let me save my thing. Goodbye, cruel world.
Alright.
Why do I always get drug into the water?
Can
Well,
I
you have
cast
part-
Cutting Words?
What does Cutting Words do?
Cutting Words, as a reaction when a creature that's not immune to being charmed that I can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll. I can expend 1 use of Bardic Expiration, roll the die, and subtract the number from the creature's roll.
You can try.
How have I been the casting couch meme and the hentai meme all in the same game?
I clicked roll, but
You gotta, yeah.
it's not giving me a die. I'm at what, D8, I think?
Something like that. I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a level.
800
What
bird.
I'm a level 800 Bard.
Yep.
I'm a level 5 Bard.
Prestige.
And I just want to make sure it's the right. I think it's a D8. If IV tools would load.
Also, probably just says on your character sheet on Foundry, oddly enough.
I'm looking at it, but I don't see where it says what hit die I had or what inspiration I have. Bardic inspiration.
I think it would be under features.
It is a
but I don't know.
D8.
It's 1d8, yeah.
I can see it in your character sheet. I just opened up.
It's a 6.
Hey, that should be low enough to lower it, right? With, what now? 23 down from 6, 17?
17, yeah.
Well, guess what, motherfucker? Still hits me.
God
Oh,
damn it.
shit.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. I appreciate it.
You are grappled and yanked into the water.
Whee!
Alright, and then it will go into...
My cutting words was actually at Aruna for being so fucking grabbable.
It'll go into just an initiative orders. Or standard initiative order. Alright. Alright. It'll go to Reed.
Yes. Oh, for the tentacles?
Yeah.
So Aruna's been pulled in.
Aruna has been
Yeah,
yanked
see you later,
in.
fuckers.
The orb is... The thing at the bottom is slowly making its way out of the bottom of the pool, but there's swirling tentacles all around.
Alright, then, like, are these tentacles at the surface?
Yes, those are out.
Alright, which one's got Aruna grabbed?
This far one down here.
Of course it would be that one. And, I'm gonna throw the ghost chain dart at it.
Give it the ghost chain.
That's 15.
Does manage
I
to
want
hit
the chain.
barely.
Okay. Then can I pull it closer?
You can try to.
Okay. So that is the athletics.
Yep, it will roll. It's the athletics. It got a 17.
Oh wait, that's my acrobatics. Sorry. Wait. Right one. Doesn't matter. That's only a 9.
What are you biting, Bert?
Not enough. As you're surprised by the strength of this meaty tentacle. As you merely pull the ghost chain dart back. However, it did take a little bit of damage.
Use my reaction. I can't pull it again, but I can at least throw the dart at it again. That'll be a 22, but
That'll
I can't
hit.
pull it. And then I still do flurry of blows. So
My god, we're in combat. Hella cool, you can't just walk in the room, not on your turn.
yeah, I took an attack action. So
My
okay.
god.
And then I guess I'll just punch this one, and I will use a key point. Oh Jesus, that's a 12.
12, not quite enough.
And second flurry. 17.
That one is enough.
So it takes 11.
Right.
The other one took 16.
Alright. You begin punching and throwing darts at the tentacles that wave about angrily, trying to grab at everyone around, while the unseen servant brings the orb up from the bottom of the pool. Help if I actually began.
It's sure.
All right, it goes to Klaus.
Fuck.
Tell me how you.
We'll slide over one. And I'm going to cast Thorn Whip on this guy.
Oh
Try
yeah.
and pull him up.
Give him the old thorny whip.
That's a crit.
That's good.
That does 18 points damage.
Right. Alright. So it has taken more than 30 points of damage in a turn. It drops Aruna into the pool.
Yo.
Great, now you're drowning.
You land and you splash down into the water.
I can swim. Fuck you.
But at least you're 10 feet closer up.
That's true.
And I'm going to bonus action. I'm going to check a brain knife at the same one by Aruna.
Brain knife. I'm gonna shove my brain knife at.
I'm going to check my brain knife at him. That's a 23 to hit.
Against... you said the one next to Aruna. Which one? They're all next to
Yeah.
Aruna.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
That one? Alright.
I imagine there's some 3D thing going on here. Where one's a little deeper, one's a little higher up, and the one's right the same. Yeah, so.
Alright.
I
Sneak
sound like
attack.
fucking Bill Cosby.
Zip, zap, zoobity bop.
Oh, okay, it rolled twice and still got the same number. Alright. So 20 points of damage total on that one.
Alright. You continue beating it at bay, having managed to free Aruna.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of Aruna, there's nothing else. It goes to Aruna.
Well, weird, dude. Oh! I keep getting myself in not very good situations. I've done this to myself. You know, that's okay. Alright, so I'm gonna use something I've never used, Colin.
Your brain?
Oh shit. Damn!
I'm an intelligence-based character. Fuck you, I use my brain all the time.
I'll use my dick on your brain.
Ew. I don't like that.
You like Candace?
Shut the fuck up.
What are you doing?
I've had a sickle for my starting equipment for all eternity.
Jesus Christ.
And
Okay.
since I'm a warlock now, I'm gonna use green flame blade on it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit this fucking tentacle in front of me.
Alright, green flame blade it.
Let me just 100% make sure I know
Joke's on you,
what
the
to do.
green flame blade actually spreads to Reed, just cause fuck you.
Okay. Oh, so I still have to use the stats for the weapon as opposed to a melee spell attack. Okay,
Then it-
that's significantly
Lou, don't act
worse.
like you didn't look
Then
at
it's-
that gift when you were
Then it
typing
spreads
that the
then it
first
spreads to Ito, and it just burns the whole room down. You all die inside.
Well, I'm
Unless
gonna
everyone
wager a
dies.
10 doesn't hit, Colin.
10 does not manage to hit
Shit.
the beefy boy tentacles.
That's okay, that was my one attack. So that's literally
Yeah.
it for me.
Right.
I need a better melee weapon.
It goes to Ito / the unseen servant's turn. I'm just having him move up on your turn.
How can I tell how far down the servant is?
It is currently 40 feet down.
This is a really dumb idea.
Then you should do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump into the water.
Alright.
Nice.
You splash into the water. You sink to the bottom. You never learned how to swim. You sucked at it.
They don't have a YMCA on the Ilderoy hand.
I am wearing armor, so I'm assuming I would sink pretty quickly.
You
but,
are sinking pretty quickly.
I would like to use my movement to go to the unseen serpent.
All right. You
and
swim
grab the orb.
straight down and grab the orb. Down here you can see there is a fourth tentacle that is reaching for the orb.
Can I grab the tentacle and misty step back to the surface?
Sure, you can grab the tentacle, but you're just misty stepping up. You
Ooh,
don't.
I didn't see that.
You don't.
It says it's an unoccupied space that I can see.
Oh yeah, you can't see any space technically right now. You're underwater.
Okay.
You can misty step straight up into the air, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, if I can grab the orb and misty step up into the air.
All right. Where would you like to arrive on the surface of the water?
As close to, if I can see Klaus leaning over the edge, as close to Klaus as I can.
It'd probably be like right about there.
I just watch.
Where's
the
your like
light.
heads up and just like throw it up in the air like an out of bounds ball?
Yeah, no, I literally just bamf it, like into the air above you.
Yeah, and then you just like chuck it as you fall back down.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Here, catch.
I'm chucking it to you. We're doing an alley-oop.
Sure. Klaus, make a dexterity check. Make a sleight of hand check.
Son of hand.
That was a good use of a second level spell slot.
All right.
30.
I have so many of them.
He tosses it out, and you kind of it's an awkward toss, but you reach up and you grab it, as it is now in your possession, Klaus.
I
Yeah, I
love
just
touching
realized I
random
didn't
magical
make my
items, but I don't know what the fuck they do yet. It's worked out so well so far.
And then it will go to Alec Cool.
Do something
Hey.
cool. It's in your name.
So I'm assuming the goal was to retrieve orb. Klaus now has orb.
Klaus now has orb, yes.
I'm still in the water. It's fine.
Ito and Aruna still in water.
Yeah, but who cares about Aruna?
Ah, fuck those guys.
Damn.
And Ito, actually. More Ito than Aruna.
You actually go up and
I
push
mean, Ito did
under.
choose to go into the water. Aruna got pulled.
Yeah, Ito
There
must
was-
want to be there, so I'm ignoring Ito.
Ito gave consent to drown.
Save me, Alakul. You're so handsome. There we
No, I
go. That's all I
can't.
got.
This is why I was talking about how I struggle with combining mechanics in a dungeon with making a dungeon that would kind of make sense. Why does he have a shark tank with a fucking orb at the bottom? I don't know. But the point is, it's supposed to be a mechanic fight.
I guess I will get up to...
I mean, I know why he has a shark tank. He's doing undead experiments on aquatic animals, but why would there be an orb at the bottom? Because...
Maybe
game.
he dropped it.
Maybe he dropped it.
Ziggy, shut up!
Look, if people ask themselves why not have things in a dungeon, literally the entire Prince of Persia franchise would just not exist.
Alright, so... Is Aruna at the surface?
At the
or-
surface, yes. Floating at the top of the
Alright,
surface.
Little did the party know that in order to get her level in Warlock, Aruna lost the ability to swim.
That'd be fucking funny. Real inconvenient.
Yeah,
Is
real
Altair
inconvenient.
in the first season or in the first game?
No, I actually had to sacrifice Reed's girlfriend's soul.
Joke's on you.
Solid.
She didn't have one, she gave it to Reed.
I guess I just... I lean over the edge to try and reach for Aruna to try and help pull Aruna out. Because Reed's in the fucking spot that I need to be in.
Alright, make an athletics check. This one's a little bit risky because you're leaning out over the water. A little bit harder. That's not a good roll.
It's
would you
worth it.
would you like to use the 19 from your portent dice? Or the group's portent dice?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Whenever you fail I'll check. I always like, well, if you want to use it, you
Okay,
got it.
go for it.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
It's not like we're gonna.
There's not going to be some epic boss fight at the end of this.
Instead of tumbling into the water with her, use a 19 and manage to succeed, and you pull Aruna to the edge.
Well, thank you. Save me from one opportunity attack. Yeah, baby.
Well, anything else from Alec Cool?
Unfortunately, no.
It goes to tentacles.
Oh no, my butthole.
So that is when the fourth tentacle that was chasing the orb emerges. It's gonna make
Pull out my Pokeball.
one attack against Klaus. 20 plus 7, 15 plus 7.
22 total?
22 total. Alright, you're grappled and it is gonna drag you into the water.
Yeah.
Who would win, one powerful necromancer or a pit full of tentacles?
It's gonna make this one right here is going to make an attack against Ito.
Oh no, not my butt.
18 plus 7. And it's gonna be a 25 versus armor class.
Weird that would hit him, probably.
No, I can't make that miss. Yep, it hits.
Alright, it wraps its arms around you and you are grappled. This one up here, that one just emerged so it can't attack. This one up here is gonna make a roll against Reed.
Bring it.
13 plus 7, a 20.
Damn it. That hits.
Alright. It wraps
Talk shit,
itself
get it in.
around you and yanks you into the water as well.
Alright, well, I just leave and let them die.
That's fair.
But that
I
is.
throw my ghost chain dart at Alakul and pull him in.
But it does immediately go to you, Reed.
What do I need to do to get
Alright.
It is escaping a
Nobody
grapple,
cast
so it'd be an
Thunderbolt.
acrobatics check versus their athletics. Their athletics is pretty okay, but your acrobatics should be pretty damn good.
Not if I roll a 4.
Well, it rolled an 18. Unfortunately, you do not manage to escape the grapple. You did see, if you do a certain amount of damage to the tentacles within one turn, it does drop you.
Oh shit, since I used that as my attack, or that as my action, I can't use either of my things.
Who thought you would die to the crazy graspy tentacles and not the horde of undead?
Alright, I'm gonna just... I mean, I'm already grappled, so I don't think doing patient defense is gonna really matter. I guess that's just gonna end my turn.
Alright,
Stop.
Klaus, you're a grappled boy.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna try and dex break it up. Acrobatics?
Acrobatics or athletics if that's higher. It did not do well on its athletics. You do manage to break free as you slide out of its slimy tentacle.
Alright, I'm going to try and move out of the water.
Okay.
If possible. Wait, hang on. Yeah, fuck it.
You
I'll
have
take the 2 opportunity.
you have not technically left their threat range. Their threat range is 15 feet,
Okay.
so they don't attack you.
Oh, okay, cool. And for bonus action, I'll hit this guy. 17. Well, 24 actually, because he's surrounded, right?
Well, he's flanked. Reed wouldn't count as the surrounded, or neither would Ito, but
Okay.
Aruna does, and so does Alec Cool. So
Wait, Alec Cool's in here?
he's right there.
No,
I don't see his token. I'll refresh in a second. Alright, so I'm gonna do sneak attack damage. 9. So 15 total damage on that guy.
All right.
And that is my turn. Now I'll refresh so I can see my team.
It's giving him up to. Okay. Goes to Aruna.
Phenomenal. Bum, bum, bum. So 15-foot range, huh?
Yes, their threat range is 15 feet.
Do I take 1 attack if I go there, or 2?
If you have not, if you're still in its threat range, you haven't actually left
Okay,
it.
okay. What about? Oh yeah, cool. I will do a scorching ray at 2nd level.
Okay.
Do this real quick. Scorching ray. The first one's a 27.
It will hit. Believe it or
I'm
not.
gonna shoot this guy.
All right.
For, I guess, only 8 damage, unfortunately.
Damage. You can see it draws away from the fire, especially hurt by it.
Alright, I'll shoot a second one at it. Or shoot the second beam at it. Well, I wish it would roll the thing. Sorry. Only a 10 to hit that one.
Does not. You're hitting the same one, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I'll just hit it with the 3rd one, because I would rather kill 1 than 20 to hit. And 7.
7 plus 4, that is, what, 16 plus 14 total, 30 points of damage.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's it for me.
That's it for you. That's enough damage on this tentacle that Reed splashes down in the water as it drops it. And it also, since you beat the 60 damage threshold, one of the tentacles darts back in. 2, 3. This one darts back underneath the water. Goes to... If there's nothing else from Aruna, we'll go to Ito.
Are the... Since I was down there, do the tentacles go all the way down?
Basically...
Are they coming out of the walls?
They're coming out from...
Floating?
It looks like, or you saw a shadow moving down underneath you initially. They're coming from somewhere in the water. Chances are they're coming from somewhere towards the bottom.
I would like to throw my arm up to Klaus Spartacus style and see if I can get pulled up.
Okay.
Can I use a reaction to that?
Sure.
I don't know if that'd be an action or movement.
That would be an action because you're trying to break the grapple.
That's fine.
Oh,
I'll use
or,
my,
I mean,
I'll use my
actually,
I don't-
nope, you're not trying to break the grapple.
Okay.
That was the one that retreated down.
Okay, so I'm just moving.
Yep.
So yeah, and then I will fire my crossbow, I guess. Because I have a crossbow.
Wait, you know how to crossbow?
Indeed.
Holy shit.
17.
17 does manage to hit.
7
Okay.
on the one that is holding Reed. No, Reed's not being held anymore.
Nope.
The one to the south of Reed.
Okay. That one took enough damage to drop Reed. Alright.
And if it's still up, I will fire again.
It is still up. They don't have a separate health pool, they have a shared health pool.
Okay. 26.
That'll hit.
9.
Alright. Alright. Pretty good. You've all managed to escape. The only one laying still in the water is Reed. You can continue.
I will look at Klaus.
You can keep
and
moving,
I will
too.
ask him if what I just did was worth it.
Well, I really have no fucking idea.
Okay,
We'll
cool.
see.
Oh shit.
Seeing Aruna grappled by tentacles better not awaken anything in me.
A deep,
Is that
deep
all? Is that
hug.
it? You've still got movement if
that's
you
it
want
for
to
you
use
two.
it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Or I'll move over here.
Okay. It goes to Alec Cool. The tentacles are starting to get beat up pretty badly. One has already retreated back to the depths.
Hmm.
Currently, Reed sits in the water as well. Ungrappled, though.
Shame. I attack this one.
Okay.
19.
That'll hit.
Oof. Well, do I count as flanking with
It is considered surrounded.
surrounded? Yeah, then alright, then that's 25 and then a 24, so 18 total damage.
Okay.
And then my sneak attack, I almost forgot, for 7 more points of damage.
Right. That is enough damage to cause another one to retreat.
Sheep.
This one right there is gonna retreat. Alright. Help if I had, well, I just know the tentacles go well. Anything else from Alec Cool?
Nope.
Still have movement. Alright. It's going to go to the tentacles. Remaining 2. We're gonna do an attack, grapple, or it's gonna try to grab Ito. It's only gonna be a 20 versus armor class.
Ito's not fucking here.
I don't think that's gonna hit him because he can just use his defensive duelist thing, so I'm gonna say he uses it. This one is actually going to retreat as well. At this point, the tentacles have been getting beat up pretty badly, and whatever is down there beneath the water is starting to withdraw. The orb it's supposed to be protecting, already gone. It goes to Reed.
I'm just gonna take disengage and swim out.
Okay. You are managing to escape the final tentacle. As Klaus, I imagine all of you now freed from the water are just gonna back out.
Whoa, whoa,
Yep.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
You get the orb.
The orb of confusion.
There's little need to continue that, as you can all disengage and pull away, and the tentacles do not follow you from the pool. They sort of slowly sink back down into the water. You have managed to retrieve the thing at the bottom. It looks like a beautiful, sort of glittering bluish orb. It glows very faintly. As you hold it in your hand, it feels quite warm.
Sure, it doesn't do anything special. Ah.
Yeah, I want to inspect it. So it doesn't
Roll an
take
investigation check.
Yeah, so you got that, Holmes.
16.
You can see the faint markings on it as if a hand had grasped it.
Ow.
Did
As if a hand
after hand grasped it,
As if
you
a hand,
cut off of
as if
that?
you can see faint markings as if a hand had grasped it, or it had been grasped in a hand.
Whoa!
It's an ergonomic orb.
I think you should stick it up your butt and
Uh,
not. with one
Essentially,
of the
there are
bookends.
small divots or grooves if it had been grasped for a long
Yeah.
time in a hand. That's the only way to describe it.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. We're going
I'm
with
gonna-
Tommy's idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hands over the divots and see if that does anything. Palm it the way it wants to be palmed.
No,
Beaver
think it
becomes
wants
the
to be
avatar of
Oh,
nothing happens. Just a
the bookcase.
faint blue orb.
Please put it in the bookend, Klaus.
Oh yeah, duh.
Please.
Probably a good idea.
I still like Tommy's idea.
Well,
Jokes
yeah,
on
he can fit two
Claw
of them
and
through his
orb in your
sword.
butthole.
jokes on you. You do have to put it up your butt.
The whole bookcase.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put it half. Listen, I'm gonna put it halfway up my butt. I'm gonna back my ass up to the hand. I'm gonna let it grab it out of my ass,
Okay, it's
like Lady in the Tramp.
it's just like Siegfried did with you that one night. You
Catching orbs.
you
Yeah,
take
it's
it
been
over to the
lobbied.
bookcase and you place it in.
The Benoit beads?
Oh no.
That's what they're called.
Almost immediately, it reaches out and grasps it, and it begins to glow blue.
Firmly grasp it.
The,
Good job, team.
the blue arcane circles on the floor also flare with energy.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa, dude.
Dude.
Alright, this next one, we just let
Has
Connor handle.
I would say,
the
has anyone
entire
actually
room.
walked on the blue orbs yet? I wonder.
I've
I do
actually been
now.
consciously avoiding
Whoa.
them. Oh, never mind. If he dies, he dies.
Is that all it does, Colin?
It transports from one end of the room to the other. Boy, I wonder why it does that.
Oh.
Just this image on Google search.
Yellow one does not
Fantastic.
work right now.
Okay.
Well, Reed wants
Let's
to get
go.
out of this base. Yeah.
Oh shit, we're gonna play poker with skeletons.
Damn it.
Alright. You enter the room and see it almost looks like a soldier's barracks, actually, interestingly enough. You can see there are dead bodies laying on the bed. Skeletons, outfitted in armor. They have weapons near them. Across the wall, there is a weapons rack, ready to outfit anyone with armor. You can see standing, well not standing, but sitting on two barrels next to a table are two skeletons. They have what appears to be a deck of cards before them and a mighty cleaver. You can see
Right,
that...
did we not the orb?
Yes, you put the orb in.
Good.
You can see that there looks like blood on the table. Klaus, as you approach, almost immediately they turn up to you and they say, "Fancy a game, son."
Do it.
I sit down at the table. And I
Hell
pick
yeah.
up the cards and I start to shuffle them up.
Oh wait, are we gambling with skeletons? I will straight up sit right next to him. Let's go.
Trade for a trade, boy. What are you betting?
Dug undies.
Oh, he got us! And they keel over dead.
They just died.
I tell you what,
Die
boy.
extra hard.
It's been a long time since we've seen flesh as pretty as that.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Why not a pound of flesh? And then one of them sort of reaches over and takes the knife in their hand.
There's no way a pound of flesh is not a euphemism.
Then what do I get if I win?
Just to confirm, these guys were talking when we got in here, right?
They were standing there. As soon as Klaus walked near them, they started talking.
But we can hear these guys.
You can hear them now. He's not using Speak with Dead for this.
Okay.
If you win, we'll be kind enough to open the door for you. And none of us, you'll be friends with everyone in this room. How about that? You'll not be hindered by us at all.
I almost want to bottom deck the cards.
You can absolutely cheat at this if you want to.
I want to take the cleaver and chop off Klaus's Vecna hand. That'd be funny.
It'll be like fucking Jamie Lannister.
True.
Just be sitting there and then, fuck. No, I'm not gonna bottom deck.
Can we, how many are there?
There's 2 at the table, there's 3 laying in the beds.
Okay.
You can beat him fair and square, dude. Easy.
Yeah, fuck it.
There's a good chance you
Let's
can
do
beat
it.
him.
Let's do it.
Alright.
What's the worst that could happen? Take Ito's hands? Then we
No,
won't have to worry about his god awful playing anymore.
They're playing I Win from Big Daddy. They just say, you put a card down and say I win.
That's true. They put it down and immediately say I win.
Yeah.
Alright.
Give me your skin, boy.
This is Texas Hold'em, as in Texas hold these nuts.
He got us. They keel over dead.
Maybe your nuts weigh a pound and that's all you have to give up.
They deal. He lays out a hand of cards in front of him. This is more of an obfuscation of a game. Strictly gambling, essentially. That being said, you can try to alter your fortunes with things like a sleight of hand check, perhaps, to maybe palm a card versus their perception, because they may very well do the same against you. You can see there is a hand of cards laid out before you. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
16.
The hand you see is quite good. It looks like you've got 2 pair.
I'm gonna call.
Alright. The skeletons sort of look at each other. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
$15.
You can see as they reach forward, you can just barely catch a faint glimpse as it looks like one of the cards in the leftmost skeleton's hand was doubled up.
Sorry, I needed help.
And as he leans forward, it's basically flips one card over, managing to swap out one card for another. But you do catch it as he lays down what appears to be 4 of a kind.
Damn.
How about that pound of flesh, son?
How about that neat trick you pulled?
Huh.
Oldest one in the book.
What do you mean? No tricks
That doubled
here.
up cards.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage.
A 12. Let me, actually I can do... Where the fuck is it? Is it features? Rip, and it rolled a 1, so that's only a 13.
Well, there's no need to get bent out of sorts, son. You could always try again if you don't like losing.
I'll deal. And I grab the deck and I start shuffling.
I'm gonna go
Sandra
over
says
to
hi.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello. I'm gonna go over to Klaus and put my hand on his shoulder and cast guidance on him.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna bottom deck this shit.
Alright. He says, double or nothing. How about that?
So which one cheated, Colin?
This one right here.
Oh shit, this guy, huh? Alright.
Alright, sleight of hand.
As you get
Are
close...
they drinking?
No.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand versus their
Ooh,
perception.
32.
They
Jesus fuck.
do not notice you. So you will have advantage on the d20 that you roll to determine your hand, and they have disadvantage. Alright, give me a d20.
That's a 12.
Unfortunately, a hand that's not as good as...
Can he use the guidance on it?
Sure.
That's right, yeah, the D4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
12 not
If
as
I
good
could-
as 16.
oh,
Still not quite
if
as
I
good.
could, if I could make a joke about how I'm sure this isn't the first time you've gambled away a pound of flesh before, and give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
So another D4.
1d8.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Another 3.
Alright.
So that's still an 18.
It's a strong hand, actually. Even better than the last one. As the
It's amazing. We kept talking and the cards just kept changing.
as the skeleton, basically, leans back and he says, "You seem like a nice enough kid. I'd hate to have to cut you for too much, so I'll let you bow out right now. Walk out this room."
I would like to prepare to attack the gentleman with the knife.
What does it mean? What is everyone's passive insight?
Low.
Passive insight is 11.
13.
I'll let you know. And
It's just passive. It's just insight plus 10, right?
Yes.
18.
mine's 16.
Alright. Alec, cool.
Yes, sir.
You can hear the faint quaver in his voice. He's bluffing. He does not. It seems like he's worried about this hand.
I pat Klaus on the shoulders. Like, I think you got it, man. Don't bow out now.
Roll a stealth
Oh,
check
hell
for
no.
me.
Roll a stealth check.
Yeah.
28.
A gentle pat on the shoulder that neither of the skeletons have noticed. You lay out your cards. He lays out his. He's got nothing. As he sort of leans back. Well, shit.
This is a fun game.
Well,
How about your end of the bargain?
we're men of our words. A long time since we had a good game with anyone other than ourselves. And he sort of leans back. Does not actually seem to be interested in fighting in any way. But he sort of reaches up and snaps off a piece of his own rib. And you can see it's got divots on it. He says, this will unlock the door.
Does that go back on when it's not needed?
We're skeletons, you think we fucking need these?
In a matter of speaking, yeah.
I mean, there's a whole pile of ribs over there. You can just get another one.
Hey, I didn't ask to
Fair.
be brought back to life, but it happened.
Would you like
Would
to
you like to go
stop?
back?
We think about it every now and then, but there's something inside us that I don't know if it's part of the magics, but we can't just let ourselves die. We're not happy to be here, but well, we always I don't know. It's like he filled us with something. Like we're supposed to do something. We're supposed to fight for something. He was training us down here, trying to raise an army, see what worked best for raising undead, trying to keep their intelligence intact. That's what we were, you know?
Aruna, you can cast Dispel Magic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we come back and we have some extra spell slots later, I can get these guys to stop.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
How many of you are there?
Oh, down here? Well, we were mostly the test things. There's a few of us in here. There's a couple farther in, 3 or 4. They were mostly working on the actual dexterity abilities of undead, trying to make it so they could move a little bit better and that sort of thing. You know, he was down here trying to sort of cure the problems with raising undead. They're losing their intelligence and their dexterity.
Let's see.
Well, we could either dispel it, or there's the possibility that there's something in the dungeon or the vault that's keeping them alive. Also,
later.
normally they stick around after they're raised, but I don't think magic really travels back and forth out of the vault necessarily. So it might be something in here.
Yes, we'll keep looking.
We can deal
We'll
with
try
them
and
once we
get you
finish.
your rest.
Hey, you know, it is what it is, guys.
Yeah, you know it is what it is when you're a skeleton.
Hey, you know,
So only the skeletons are from Brooklyn?
Shit, Klaus,
Apparently
you're still good
so.
at cards.
If you get bored, come play cards with us, huh? Or if you need a rest or something, we're happy to clear out one of the beds.
Just leave Ito there. Don't worry about him.
I can't go through the door.
You have to click the door, you shithead.
Oh, I didn't even know that was
You
a
gotta
thing.
open it because someone closed it on you.
No,
How long has that been a thing?
Forever.
Since we played the game and you were like, oh,
Right.
you can open doors.
Like I said, man, my game's been lagging for the last like 4 weeks.
No, I think when we first started using Foundry and there were doors, you were one of the ones that found
They have
how we
always
No, I know,
put-
but I must have forgotten it because, like I said, my
Alright.
game was moving very slowly until I
Well,
switched
Bree's
to
gonna head
Firefly.
bot.
Alright.
Well, so not gonna split up at this
Ito,
point.
as you approach the door, you
not?
can smell what appears to. It smells like a bit like rot and blood as you
Oh.
approach that door.
Is there
Yeah,
a
you can-
crack or a keyhole I can see through?
There's a doorknob. You can try to listen through it. However, you can roll a perception check.
Yeah, I'll try.
Well, I just opened the door down here, so
9.
All right. You don't hear anything.
I will report my findings and go back down.
All right. To the south, you see what looks like an archery range that was set up. It actually has, surprisingly enough, what looks almost like natural light that is permeating from some sort of magical source, as if the room itself is filled with it. A fine bed of moss has been grown across the ground. It vaguely resembles grass. It almost looks like outside. You can see there are skeletons that have been chained to nearby tables that have had. They have bows and arrows nearby. Far down the range, targets where it looked like they were doing target practice.
Oh man, this is my time. Colin, can I pick up a bow and some arrows so I have a weapon that isn't magical?
Sure.
Sweet. I am an elf. I am proficient. Is it long bows and short bows or what?
It can be longbows and short bows.
One of them is a prestige +2 longbow, completely by chance.
Weird. Okay.
It's wild
Okay.
how that happens, right?
Yeah, crazy, dude. Just wanna make sure I can use that. Yeah, I'll take a longbow.
Right. As
How
soon-
much ammo?
there you can find at least 20 arrows here.
Okay.
As soon as you grab it, the undead twitch and sit up.
Hey guys.
I think you're gonna have to have a little content.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, archery contest with undead. Except they're
Sounds fucking
good at
good.
shooting instead of bad.
I'm
Yo,
pretty
can I get
okay
a
at
Patriot
shooting.
arrow?
They themselves don't say anything, but they each clutch their bow and sort of knock the arrows. However, if you want, you can continue trying to speak with undead, because they are undead. They're not speaking automatically, though. Not granted with the intelligence that the armory people were.
What do I want to ask them? This is the hard part with speaking with dead. What do you ask a dead guy? Any suggestions?
I mean, are they going
Asking the
to...
goal here, I guess.
Are they gonna let us leave?
Hello.
Go ahead. What happens? I'm just gonna start
Shevins?
walking out.
They don't do anything to stop you. They can't chase you. They're chained to the tables.
Phenomenal.
They turn and say, as soon as you say hello, they turn their heads and say, "Well met."
How long have you been down here?
I suppose one day. I've never seen the moon rise.
Oh boy.
Great.
Well, would you like to leave this place?
We can't. We have a duty. And surprisingly, he reaches up and with surprising dexterity, knocks an arrow and fires it across the room right into the center of the target.
What a guy.
We have a duty to serve.
Are we still shooting?
Still trying to
Okay.
figure out what to do with these
Okay,
guys.
okay. I take Klaus out in the hallway. Klaus, come with me, real quick. Alright, listen, Klaus. You have, as much as I don't like it, you have weird necromancer powers. And these are trained undead. And we might fight more undead. If you can win them to our side, life will be way easier, and then we can release them or put them down afterwards. Yes?
Can I overhear
Agreed.
that conversation?
Hey, guess what? I closed the door. Fuck you.
You can try.
Yeah,
If they're trying to hide it, they can make stealth versus perception, your passive perception.
That is a 13. So I'm willing to bet.
Mine's a 22.
Wow. I'm bad.
You vaguely hear them
so I-
whispering about something.
I was planning to do a ceremony to release them. But it takes an hour.
Yeah, well, I'm saying. Well, you didn't.
We'll be down here longer than that.
I think it's.
Oh
worth
no,
a
it
try.
does not take an hour, I'm sorry.
Well, gentlemen, how would you like to join us? We can
Oh
use
no,
minimal
no,
talents.
it does take an hour. It says instantaneous on it though, which is weird.
Why would we join you?
Well, on one hand does this, and I show him the eye back there, and then on the other hand it does this. And then I show him the other hand effect. And then I'll use him to grab one of the bows and I'll try and shoot one of the targets.
Ah,
Hell yeah.
so you know how to shoot then?
D20 plus... Was it Dex and Proficiency?
Oh yeah, it's just a
Klaus
ranged
is the
attack.
only one that can hear them, right?
Yes.
Are we able to hear Klaus talking to them?
Theoretically, yeah.
Or is it like some undead speak?
He's got his special, his Eye of Vecna, both his Eyes of Vecna that he
That's
says he's
important,
attuned to
that.
both of them,
Gordon's
allow
gone,
him
bro.
to speak and
Rip.
basically hear undead whenever they're
Let
basically essentially
me-
talking. But you're not hearing them, because he's not casting normal speak with dead.
Okay.
Cast Cybol's your neck and attack. Nope, can't.
One
So
of-
that's a 1.
One of them pretty easily fires off an arrow that hits right in the heart of the dummy. As it turns to you. Are you sure you think yourself worthy?
Oh shit.
It was a
I'll-
bad shot.
I'm gonna try
Is
to
it a
outshoot
longbow
him.
or a short bow you have?
Mine is really short bow, 'cause I don't know if I'm proficient
'Cause I
in
can only do
longbow.
simple weapons.
Yeah.
Okay. I can shoot.
Allow me to give it a shot.
Honestly, I want to too.
Unfortunately, I don't have.
I'll try to beat Reed. It'll be funny.
'Cause I've only got my dart, but I believe it would be the same to hit, right? As a ranged weapon.
It's just a ranged weapon attack.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Get shit on, Reed.
Okay, yeah. Roll d20 plus 9. Really? I have just been rolling shit today.
Yep.
Ooh,
I got a
look
22
at a
there.
psychic dagger.
I'm trying to impress the skeleton by shooting real good.
With a 19.
I can't talk to him, but
Wow.
Wait, you got a fucking +7 to a longbow?
We're none too impressed, I'm afraid.
God damn, Aruna.
Even so.
oh well.
Who
Still,
knows you had that's giving you a +7 to that?
the elf shows promise. In her own way, I suppose.
Whatever, I'm better with darts anyway.
I like to try and use the eye to dominate them.
Alright. You try to dominate them. As you try to bend them to your will using the Eye of Vecna. Or the twin powers of the Eyes of Vecna. Let's see.
What roll was that?
We're just going to make them make a wisdom saving throw. Against only gonna get a 12 against a DC 14. You can see they almost immediately sort of become rigid.
Alright. Are you with me now?
They say almost immediately, "You are his apprentice, aren't you?"
Man, you have a lot of deck. I was not expecting.
Connor is no longer replaced by tiny children.
an apprentice of sorts, but we will see.
And you say hi to the
Come with
snake.
us. Yeah, there's work to be done, and I need to work with my lockpick, unchain their feet.
Very well. We will serve you for now.
Sick.
Great, we got 2 undead archers. Fucking yippee.
Alright.
Small army going, dude. Let's go to the rot room. Oh yeah, I'm not going first.
Alright.
Oh,
Opening
yeah.
up, you see what appears to be a stable
Nope.
that is filled with horses that have had their skin flayed. You can see their musculature and bones exposed as they pat at the ground, kicking up hay. They seem to glisten in the light. It smells of blood and death. They sit behind their stalls, and at the far end, in a bloody trough, you see another orb. Yellow this time.
Oh, I'm assuming nobody has speak with dead animals.
Oh,
How does that work? Did you cast both of those?
Well, they don't have language in life, so...
I mean, yeah, alright. I'll
alright.
go grab the orb.
no, I was gonna do something smarter than that. That's fine.
I'd
Yeah.
go for it. Be smarter than me.
Alright. We got right here. See if, well, it might not work because it might be magic, but we'll try it. I'll try mage handing over the trough because it's 30 feet.
Alright. You can see the horses look
is
on,
smart.
their wide eyes, just watching. At the end of the day, they are just horses that have flayed skin.
Fuck you, Colin. You derailed your entire dungeon with a dog.
As you go across and you lift the orb out and it slowly floats into the air, as the horses watch quietly, their eyes still reflecting their sort of animal intelligence that they had in life, as they sort of paw up against the hay.
Give me that orb.
As it lands in your hand.
Are they trotting against a like particular spot in the hay?
No, they seem antsy like horses
Okay,
do.
they're just dancing. Okay.
Oh, enough of that.
Right. So nobody wants the undead horse mount then.
We could ask.
Absolutely not.
We could ask the other soldiers if they can do the horses. They can probably.
Oh yes, fucking soccer horse arches.
A gambling man.
What?
Do any of you are any of you horse hands?
We're all
Life
experts in
or
horsemanship. We were trained to do it.
No. Okay. Good to know.
Bring on the orb.
Boy. And just like that,
Yes, sir.
just like that, you're doing the Redeemer's work for him.
Again.
Alright, so I will again stick the ball halfway up my ass and back it up against the nutcase.
Alright.
Thank you.
baby. Shut up.
Oh god, the dog.
Hey, little baby.
Baby.
What are you
How much
doing?
tension does it have, or can you move it around like one of those like track
You run
balls
around naked,
in
young
like
man.
golf games at the arcade?
Okay, come on, let's take your phone. Go get
Can
in
you
your
give
gym
it
jams,
the
buddy.
give it the palm roll?
Yeah, right.
Go get in your gym jams, little baby.
Oh, did he not? Is he not already pooped in the tub?
Did he poop in the tub again?
He's already gotten out the tub. It's been drained. Alright, you place the orb into the outstretched claw, and it immediately grips it, and the yellow tiles flare to life. Gotta... You... multi-level. Enable region. Bam. Alright.
Oh my god.
And you also hear a faint click behind the door, or basically the bookcase.
Oh,
It
hell
sort
yeah.
of slowly slides open.
This does not bode well.
You can
gentlemen.
see, arrayed on tables, corpses in various states of decay. Some of them completely skeletons. Some of them that seem to be surprisingly intact, but their bodies slowly rotting away. And as you walk in, you can see there is a cart at the far side that has been loaded up with bodies. You can see the trails on the ground where it's been used to repeatedly drag it into the next room. But as soon as you enter, all the heads turn to you. They are unable to move their bodies, but their eyes look pleadingly at you. One of the more intact ones opens its mouth and says, "Kill me." As you can see, Aruna, feel free to roll an intelligence check. Or an investigation check.
Okay. 19.
You head over to the tables and see some of the notes that have been scribbled on a book. As you can see, the Redeemer was doing tests on decomposition, letting these people rot while he kept their heads fresh and living, so he could talk to them about what's happening to their bodies as they rotted.
That's fucking metal.
You can see there are various notes on the sort of problems, the decay of their bodies, the mental state of the people as they decay. As you can see, 3 of them are still alive, or at least their heads are alive, twisting around. 2 of them can still talk. 1 can merely open his mouth to plead silently.
Great. As gross and as awful as the book is, I'll take it with us. This might be useful, unfortunately. Christ. Okay.
So do we mercy kill or do
Down at
we
'em.
heal them?
I don't think there's
they're
any
too
healing
far
I
from you.
go around, and is this door locked?
It is not.
I don't think there's
You
any
see
healing.
what
Bring
appears
back the rest of their body.
what appears to be a pile of bodies piled into the corner, Alec-Cool. Smears of blood leading to 2 furnaces that burn, have basically ever-burning fire that are stoked with coals. You can see there is a undead here, a ragged, sort of thin skeleton, that seems to be covered in coal dust. He has a large shovel over his, basically held over his shoulder, standing next to the coal pile as he turns to you.
What's your job here, sir?
I keep the furnaces running, get rid of the cast-offs.
What's the?
I bet
what's
this room smells lovely.
It does stink.
What about the? Do you take care of the people in the other room too?
My job is merely to keep the furnaces burning.
What do the furnaces do then?
We dispose of failed experiments.
That's it then?
Well,
How droll.
that is my job. I mean, you gotta get rid of these bodies somehow.
Boy, he's got must have had a real backlog to still be doing it. I guess you're
you
the
have
one that pulls
anything-
the cart then?
That is amongst my duties, yes.
Can you say bring out your dead, please?
Bring out.
Please.
When is the master going to return? His experiments are still ongoing.
Complicated, but I believe.
When is the last time you filled these forges, bro?
I said they have ever-burning fire, Connor.
No, I meant like with, because he's using them to dispose of the corpses.
Yes,
right?
and the experiments are still ongoing. That's why he's asking when it's gonna be back.
Well, it's complicated, but your master's got a new apprentice, I guess you would call it, and I point my hand to Klaus. So
Yeah, I'm gonna mercy kill all 3 of the people in that room before I come in here. Just
Yeah.
snip, 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 dead.
I was waiting to see if they had any last rites they would like perform.
I was
beforehand.
I was gonna do a
He
ceremony
couldn't
there.
speak.
Very well,
That's
Two
true.
of them can.
Master. As he goes to you, Klaus, if you are the Master's apprentice, then I serve you as well, I suppose. As you can see, the work continues. Always something else to dispose of. Your experiments have gotten quite a bit unruly on occasion, though.
Which experiments of those?
Oh, the ones from the lowest level.
This isn't the lowest level.
Of course not.
How do I get down there?
That would require this, Master's special seal. He should have given it to you if you were his apprentice.
What would the special seal?
Proceed.
Perhaps you're not up to the task of dealing with the Master's most dire experiments. They truly are wonders, and you might want to start off easy on this level.
Damn, that shade.
Sorry, Dad got in, so I didn't hear a word you said there.
He said you might not... He's sort of expressed the belief that you might not be up to dealing with the Master's most dire and impressive experiments.
Because we don't have the seal or whatever it is.
I don't remember if he had a seal.
You do not have the seal on you. You would have had to work with the Redeemer. Essentially, was how you get to the lowest level, which has the strongest stuff for an undead army. But that remains locked, because that's not the direction you took in the campaign.
Is there a way
this
to
guy-
get
I'm
there?
still convinced this is Joseph Smoke's fault.
You would have to go find the Redeemer's body and get the seal off of it.
So is this guy implying that he's like the gatekeeper and he can open the way?
He cannot. The only way to get down is have the
Okay.
Gatekeeper seal, or to have the Redeemer's seal. The Redeemer's seal is on his body at this point. Specifically,
Didn't we absolutely disintegrate his body?
it got tossed off the edge of a cliff, I
Yeah,
believe.
we chucked him into the ocean. Or not the. Was it an ocean?
It was frozen.
No, yeah, it was just off the edge of a cliff.
Well, shit.
Well, who wants to go to Festinhaven?
You don't need to go to the lowest level. That was if you chose to work with the Redeemer to make an
Yeah.
undead army.
No.
He just
What now?
the gentleman in the main chamber just wanted to bring people back or keep
Yeah,
these
you
guys
just
in
had to
check.
prove that you were dumb. You had willful over the people down here. The
Well,
stuff on the lowest level is 100% optional. It was if you went down that road, and you did not. So
Well, I believe we're done then. He's cool with you, so let's go check back with your.
if you
The big
see
guy
the
friend.
Master, tell him to hurry back.
Well,
I'll let him know when I see him.
yep.
You can see grumbles and begins shoveling coal into the furnace, saying, "I can't believe he rose me from death just to be his handservant. Ridiculous."
I will shut the door as everybody leaves.
All right.
And I will ask the servant if he wants to stop.
He just kind of stares blankly.
It would be an investiture of time, but I believe that my compatriots and I could release you from this toil.
Why would I want to stop? I have good work that needs to be done for the master.
It is your decision.
Well, all
is
I
only
know
an
was
offer.
that I was dead, and then I was raised to undeath, and then I was granted great intelligence and sentience, probably far greater than I had in life.
If you are accepting of your lot in this existence... Sorry, I have children with me.
I do feel bad for some of the other ones that were not given the intelligence I and some of the others were. We still maintain our abilities to communicate. Something akin to free will. Some of the others were not so lucky, I'm afraid.
Well, if you want to be released, we can see if we can make that happen. If you don't, we're not going to force you.
I would love to be released, but from down here, at the very least. It's been a long time since I've seen something other than an artificial sun.
Unfortunately, I don't believe the surface world is ready for that yet. And I will think on it.
If you see the master, tell him to hurry back.
Will do. Think about it.
He goes back to shoveling the coal.
I have returned. Molly.
Let's just hurry up, finish this, and get out of this cursed place.
I don't think it's cursed.
It's a shrine to an abomination.
I mean, I've been to many shrines, and I don't see anything religious iconography. There's no symbols of worship or anything. This is a man with a problem that he was trying to solve.
In a perverse way.
Alright.
Well, we already didn't agree with his methods, that's why we killed him. But the work, I think, is admirable.
Klaus. You approach the giant.
Yeah.
And its eyes crackle with energy.
And he goes, ooga booga, ooga booga, ooga booga.
Return the slime.
Ooga chaka, ooga chaka. How does that one start?
I mean, that depends on what song you're doing, Lou. Are you doing Special Delivery by The Offspring?
Feeling? Is that it? No,
I don't think it is hooked on a feeling.
It's shit.
Let Klaus talk to the NPC. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's
Hooked
8
on
o'clock.
Feeling, that's what I was
It's
thinking.
Blue Swede, Hooked on a Feeling.
You are joined by the scant undead that you were able to gather with you. That you have attained both the orbs and the staircase, and talked and gotten the blessing as well of the coal keeper as well, the old furnace man. The eyes crackle as it looks at you.
What up, Giant Man?
I've returned with more allies than when I started.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Oh, we should probably, like, unhandcuff the archers, right?
I did.
We did.
Okay.
Perhaps you are worthy of his title. I suppose we will have to see. As the, he slowly rises to his feet, his massive form, revealing, you can see there's a faint iron door behind him, as he moves, but he stands and says, "You have brought almost every undead down here into your sway." Almost. As he sort of towers over you. One more to go, I would say. But that is a boss fight for next week, as you will be fighting a storm giant skeleton.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Spooky scary.
Spooky, scary skeleton.
We can't just